Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Foaming glass of Valentine beer, the crisp refresher. And remember that the game is brought to you by the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealer, who offers you Atlantic Imperial gasoline, the gasoline that keeps your car on the go. Get Atlantic Imperial at your Atlantic dealers today.
Atlantic keeps your car on the go. Most likely in any kind of weather, Atlantic keeps your car on the go.
When you want to go places and do things, what a pleasure your driving can be.
For quality products and top-notch service, your Atlantic dealer is the man to see. Atlantic keeps your car on the go, go. Keep on the go with Atlantic.
Looks like a miserable day here in Boston has suddenly turned into a real fine day for baseball. It was very overcast all last night and most of this morning, and suddenly the sun has broken through and we can see a lot of blue up in the sky. The wind, which was quite a factor in those home runs in yesterday's games, is practically nil. The flag is hanging just about straight down, which of course the pitchers are very happy for. The hitters aren't, but a home run will have to be earned today. Yesterday there were a few wind-blown homers, but of course they all count. The ground crew has just finished taking rid of the bad spots, getting rid of the bad spots on the infield and putting the batter's box and the catcher's box down at home plate. And the ball game will be ready to go in just a few minutes. And before the game starts, why not enjoy a tall, foaming glass beer, the crisp refresher. Now we've got the starting lineups for you, so if you're all set to really enjoy the game, light yourself a Winston, and you'll find yourself saying, Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. For the New York Yankees, leading off playing right field will be Hank Bauer. Norm Sebring will be batting second, playing left field. Mickey Mantle will be the center fielder, hitting in the third position. Elston Howard, who had 5 for 6 yesterday, will be catching and batting fourth. Bill Skowron, who had quite a day himself yesterday, with a single, a triple, and a home run, will be playing first base, batting fifth. Andy Carey will be at third base, batting in the sixth position. Tony Kubeck will be playing shortstop today, batting sixth. Bobby Richardson moves from short over to second base and will be batting eighth. And Johnny Cook will be doing the pitching and batting ninth. Now, Kubeck is in at short, and Richardson has moved over to second because Gil McDougall was struck on the hand by a pitch ball yesterday, thrown by Bill Monbouquet, the right-hander. And we were visiting with Gil in the clubhouse a little while ago. His right hand is swollen, and yet he says that's not what bothers him the most. The ball caromed off the knuckles of his right hand and struck the top of his thumb of his left hand. And he said his thumb is giving him more pain than the right hand. The x-rays showed that there were no bones broken, but Gil will be out of the lineup, according to Gus Morse, the Yankee trainer, for at least 3 or 4 days. For the Boston Red Sox, leading off playing shortstop will be Don Button. Pete Runnels will be at second base and batting second. Gene Stevens, the center fielder, hitting in the third position. Jackie Jensen will be in the cleanup spot, playing right field. Frank Malzone batting fifth and playing third base. Dick Garnett is the first baseman, batting sixth. Gary Geiger will be out in left field, hitting in the seventh position. Sammy White doing the catching and batting eighth. And Ike Galock right-hander, will be pitching and batting ninth. The umpires for today's game, calling balls and strikes, will be Frank Tabacci. Down at first base, Joe Paparella. Out in second base, Ed Hurley, and over at third base, Ed Runge. The Red Sox now have won 3 and lost 3 on the year. The Yankees are now 4-2 on the year. They've won 4 and lost 2. And in some of the games played yesterday, we'll give you the winners. In the American League, the Detroit Tigers finally won their first game of the 1959 season, defeating the Chicago White Sox. The Baltimore Orioles have won their third game in a row. They defeated the Washington Senators. The Yankees defeated the Red Sox. And the Cleveland Indians, still undefeated, took over the Kansas City A's yesterday in the National League. The Dodgers defeated the Cubs. The Giants defeated the Cardinals with Jack Sanford pitching a one-hitter. The Phillies showed a lot of power yesterday in beating Cincinnati. And as the Red Sox take the field, let's see who the other two teams in the National League are that I left out. Got the Giants, the Phillies, and the Dodgers. And the Pirates won their first game of the 1959 season, defeating the Milwaukee Braves, handing the Braves their first loss of the season. And the Pirates at Milwaukee are postponed because of cold weather. And Detroit at Chicago postponed because of cold weather. Looks like another storm is hitting the Midwest. In the American League, Washington at Baltimore, doubleheader. Kansas City at Cleveland. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. Chicago at Los Angeles. And St. Louis at San Francisco. That's the lineup for all the action. Look at Casey down there. He's kidding with the fans. They were getting on Casey a little. He made believe he was going to charge into the stands. Casey's always good for a good laugh. Especially when his team wins the game as decisively as they did yesterday against the Red Sox. Case was a little worried before yesterday's game. He said the boys hadn't shown the power that he knows they have. But yesterday they really broke loose. Casey said that he had planned a few lineup changes if the boys didn't produce, and evidently that spurred them into action. And they certainly pounded that ball all over the lot, getting 18 base hits and 16 runs. Hank Bauer leading off for the New York Yankees, stepping into the batter's box. Out on the mound, Ike Delox, Ivan Martin Delox, nickname Ike. Born in Highland Park, Michigan, he's 5'11", 178 pounds. Last year, Delox won 14 and lost 8. The right-hander into the windup. The first pitch of the ball game is right down the middle, strike one call. On deck, Norm Sebring. Gary Geiger in left field is back right against the left field fence. Delox's next pitch to Bauer is a curve that hangs above the letters ball 1, 1, and 1. Frank Crissetti coaching down at third. Over at first is Ralph Houk for the Yankees. Delox's 1-1 delivery to Bauer is low outside, ball 2, 2 and 1. Delox was the winningest Red Sox pitcher in the 1958 season. He won his first 10 decisions of the season without a defeat. The 2-1 pitch. Bauer swings and pops it up in back of the plate. Sammy White is coming back and makes the catch just in front of the screen for out number 1. Hank Bauer fouls out to Sammy White. Delox's record against the Yankees last year, he won 2 and lost 2. That'll bring up Norm Sebring. Bauer went up there batting .292. Sebring is batting .320, 8 for 25. Bauer and Sebring both lead the Yankees in doubles. They have 2. Delox's first pitch is strike one call. Slider down around the knees. The Lock's next pitch to Sebring is just inside. Ball 1-1-1. The Lock served with the United States Marines. The 1-1 pitch is low. Ball 2, 2-1. Now zone in at third. The 2-1 pitch is popped foul out of play and back of home plate. 2-2 the count. Ball game just underway in the top of the first inning. No score. This is the third game of a 4-game series up here at Fenway Park, the Yankees and the Red Sox. Mickey Mantle on deck. The Lock ready now. The windup. The pitch is hit deep to left field, way back there, and up on the screen for a home run. As a matter of fact, that ball hit the wooden pole that runs up and holds the screen on to the top of the wall here. And Norm Sebring hits a home run to the opposite field with tremendous power. I mean, that ball was really hit. The Yankees take the lead 1-0. And just yesterday, Casey Stengel was trying to convince Norm Sebring that he shouldn't try to bull the ball in this park here at Fenway with that short left field wall. And it looks like Sebring kind of listens to the old master, the old professor, Casey Stengel, and he went the opposite way and really drilled one high in the screen. The Yankees lead 1-0 for Sebring. That's his second home run of the year. As a matter of fact, he hit a home run to beat the Red Sox in the opening game at Yankee Stadium. Here's Mickey Mantle batting an even 200. Mickey takes the curve high, ball 1. Mickey looking for his first home run of the year is 5 for 25. Has one double, his only extra base hit. Got that yesterday here. Has 4 RBIs. The Lock's next pitch is high outside, ball 2, 2-0. The Lock's 2-0 pitch to Mickey is hit through the middle and out to center field. A base hit for Mantle. Right over the middle. Right over second base. Mantle singles to center. So the Yankees are continuing their heavy hitting, which they started in yesterday's ball game. Here's Elston Howard, who had 5 for 6 yesterday. Howard raised his average to an even 500, 10 for 20. One double, one homer, 7 runs batted in. On deck, Bill Skowron. Garnett holds first against Mickey Mantle. The Lock stretches. Pitch to Howard is a curve foul to the right of home plate, strike 1. Frank Kubeck fires a new baseball out to Ike the Lock. The Lock sets, Mantle leads away. The pitch to Howard is low outside, ball 1, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch is low outside, ball 2, 2-1. The Lock stretches. Mantle leads off first. The pitch is popped in the air and back of the plate. Sammy White is coming back again and makes the catch again right in front of the screen for out number 2. And both Bauer and Howard have fouled out to Sammy White. Back of home plate. Mantle fakes tagging up and going to second after the catch. Sammy White threw the ball down to second, but Mickey remained at first. 2 out. Here's Bill Skowron. The Moose is 7 for 22, batting .318. He has 1 double, 1 triple, 2 homers, and 9 runs batted in, leads the Yankees in that department. 2 out, Mantle at first. The Yankees lead 1-0 here in the top of the first. The pitch to Skowron is inside, ball 1. The stretch by DeLocke. There goes Mantle. The ball is hit straight away center field, way back there. Stevens going back, still going back, and makes the catch in deep center field on the cinder path. Man, that ball was tagged, and what a jump Mantle had. By the time Stevens caught the ball, Mickey was almost home. So for the Yankees, in the top of the first, 1 run on 2 base hits. No Red Sox. There is 1 man left. Score at the end of 1/2 inning of play. The Yankees won, and the Red Sox coming to bat.
With fine spring days at hand, you'll probably be doing a lot of extra driving, that figures, and naturally you want your car performing at its very best with lots of pick up and go. That's what you get with Atlantic Imperial gasoline. Imperial brings out the best built into any car. Top power, real live action when you step down on the accelerator, and long, long mileage that helps you get the most out of your gasoline dollar. So, for business or pleasure, whenever you're on the go, stop in at your Atlantic dealers and fill up with Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that's better to start with and better to stay with all the way. Well, tomorrow is a big holiday in Boston. It's Patriots Day, and the Red Sox and Yankees will play to honor the day. And, of course, the big event in Boston is the famous marathon race that usually takes place in the morning. So the Yankees and the Red Sox will be on the air tomorrow at 1:55 as all of Boston celebrates Patriots Day. Johnny Cook's out taking his warm-up pitches. And Don Budden moves into the batter's box to lead off for the Red Sox. Cook's trying to make a comeback for the Yankees. After a big year the year before last, Johnny had a combination of troubles last year and hopes to forget it all now. Here's the pitch.
This pitch to Budden is low, ball 1. Budden is batting .263. He's 5 for 19, but he has 8 base on balls already. And has been able to get on base at least once in every game so far for the Red Sox. There's a high foul coming back. Elston Howard chasing it back to the stands, but the ball comes back in about the 5th row of box seats and out of play. 1 strike on Don Budden. One ball, 1 strike. Johnny Cook sends an overhand curve high, ball 2, 2-1. Johnny is 6'3", 183 pounds, born in Hoboken, New Jersey, now lives in Hillsdale, New Jersey. The 2-1 pitch is inside and low, ball 3, 3-1. Yankees have Siebert in left, Mantle in center, Bauer in right, Carey at third, Kubeck is at short, Richardson is at second, Skowron at first, Howard catching and Cook pitching. Gil McDougall hit on the right hand and left thumb by a pitch ball yesterday, will be out of action for a few days. The 3-1 pitch in there, strike 2, full count on Don Budden. Jack Burns is coaching at third, and Dave Ferris over at first for the Red Sox. On deck, Pete Reynolds. Cook swings into the windup. Here's the payoff pitch to Budden. It's hit on the ground. Is short. Kubeck is up with it. Throws to Skowron, and it's 1 away. So they test Kubeck out right away. His first start at short, and he handles the ball flawlessly. Brings up Pete Reynolds, who has really been murdering that Yankee pitching. Pete's batting .409. He's 9 for 22, 3 doubles, and 3 RBIs. On deck, Gene Stevens. Reynolds bats left-handed. Cooks, his first pitch is right in there, strike one call. The one-strike pitch, the curve is way inside, makes Pete dance back. Ball 1-1-1. Reynolds lost the batting championship by 6 points to his teammate Ted Williams. Pete batted .322 last year, Williams .328. And it was a close race right down to the last day of the season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Johnny Cook checks the sign from Elston Howard. Here's the pitch, is fouled on the left field line, back into the seats and out of play. Right, 2-2-2. The fans in the stands here at Fenway Park have to be on their toes. They're right close to the field. And those foul balls shoot in there, a mile a minute. The 2-2 pitch. High outside, ball 3, 3-2. Johnny Cook trying to come overhand that time. So Cooks has had a 3-2 count on the first two batters. Got Bud in the ground out. Let's see what he does with Reynolds. Here's the payoff pitch to Pete. He swings a slow ground ball to the left of the mound. Cooks is up with it, flips to Skowron in time for the out. Two-way. And that'll bring up Gene Stevens. With the Yankees leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Stevens batting .269. 7 for 26. He leads the Red Sox in RBIs with 7. Has 3 doubles. Stevens, a left-hand batter, 6'3", 185 pounds. Takes the curve way inside, ball 1. Jackie Jensen on deck. Two away, nobody on. Cooks, his next pitch is a slow curve that's popped foul outside of third. Carey chasing it, but it goes back over the Yankee dugout and into the seats. This is a good park for bench jockeys. The dugouts are very close to the third base and first base here at Fenway Park. One ball, one strike to count on Gene Stevens. Cooks delivers a curve high outside, ball 2, 2-1. This crowd looks a little bit larger than yesterday's crowd. A lot of fans staying away because Ted Williams isn't in the lineup. The pitch to Stevens is hit on the ground between first and second. Richardson up with it. Over to Skowron in time for the out. A nice play by Bobby Richardson, who fielded that ball back on the outfield grass going to his left. Flipped the ball off balance to Skowron to nip Stevens, who can fly down that line. So for the Red Sox, in the bottom of the first, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, nobody left. Score at the end of one full inning. The Yankees won, and the Red Sox nothing. Now let's take a look at the scoreboard in the American League. Washington is at Baltimore for a doubleheader, and the Senators came up with 1 run in the top of the first inning when Reno Betoya homered. Baltimore batting in the bottom of the first. Pasquale against Odell. Detroit at Chicago postponed because of cold weather. This time of the year, they're having that cold weather out there in the Midwest. Kansas City at Cleveland at the end of 1 inning, 0-0. Herbert against score. In the National League, Pittsburgh at Milwaukee postponed because of cold weather. Philadelphia at Cincinnati at the end of an inning and a half. Cincinnati won, the Phillies nothing. Owens started for Philadelphia. Short came on in the second. O'Toole is pitching for Cincinnati. Chicago is playing at L.A. and St. Louis at San Francisco, and they start much later on. Don't forget, the advance ticket office at Yankee Stadium is open today from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and every Sunday during the baseball season. Tickets for all Yankee home games will be on sale. Andy Carey will lead off for the Yankees here in the top of the second. The Yankees are leading 1-0. Ike DeLocke on the mound for the Red Sox. Carey swings and fouls the first pitch down the first base line. Ralph Houk, the Yankee coach, is up with it. Andy is batting .409, 9 for 22. He has 1 homer and 4 runs batted in. The pitch is inside. Man, now that missed Carey's uniform shirt. Way inside, and he really sucked in his breath. Pulled his stomach in. 1-1 the count on Carey. Nobody out, nobody on in the second. The curve is high inside, ball 2. 2-1. The lock swings into the windup. The fastball is fouled back against the screen. Strike 2, 2-2. And that time the ball came up the screen, hit the tap just before our radio booth here, and kicked off to the right back into the stand. Souvenir for the fans. Something that very seldom happens. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High inside, and Andy pulled that right hand away. He had visions of Gil McDougall getting hit yesterday. Gil got hit with the same type of pitch on his right fist. Andy just took his right hand off the bat and stuck it in his pocket. Full count on Carey. Here's the payoff pitch to Andy. A ground ball hit slowly to third. This is going to be trouble. Malzone fires to first. Just in time to get Carey. Oh, man. Malzone had to really fire that ball. It was one of those swinging bunts. And Ralph Houk, the Yankee first base coach, was giving the safe sign, but first base umpire Joe Paparella gave the out sign, and it's his decision that counts. And I didn't think Malzone was going to get Carey on that one. Frank was playing deep, and Carey topped the ball. But Malzone can fire that day. One away. Here's Tony Kubeck. Kubeck has been up twice, pinch hitting both times. He's 0 for 2. Left-hand batter. Takes the fastball in there, strike 1 call. The 1-strike pitch to Tony is a curve pop foul out of play. Strike 2. Tony's 6'3", 185 pounds, from Milwaukee. Last year batted .265. But in his first year with the Yankees, he batted .297. Slipped a little bit last year. Fastball is just below the knees, ball 1. Sammy White fires the ball down to third base. He thought that was strike 3, and plate umpire Frank Tabacci takes his mask off and tells Sammy White not to show him up. And by showing him up, Tabacci means that White thought it was a strike. Even though Tabacci called it a ball, Sammy White, even after Tabacci called it a ball, fired the ball down to third base. And it does make the umpire look a little bad in the eyes of the fans. So the fans get on Frank a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tony Kubeck. Yanks lead 1-0. We're in the top of the second. 1 out. No one on. The pitch to Tony is popped foul near the Yankee dugout, and it's going back into the seats out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Bobby Richardson. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch is hit on the ground at second base. Reynolds is up with it. Over to Garnett, and it's 2 away. 2 outs, and the batter, Bobby Richardson. While Bobby's digging in at home plate, I'd like to wish my daughter Cynthia a happy birthday. Today is Cindy's 12th birthday. Hate to be away, but we'll be home soon, Cindy, with a present or two. So hang in there. Bobby Richardson takes a fastball right down the middle, strike 1 call. Bobby's batting 182. He's 4 for 22, has 1 double, 2 RBI. There's a fly ball to straightaway center field. Stevens with the glasses down. Under it, makes the catch for out number 3. For the Yankees, in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no Red Sox errors, no one left. Score at the end of an inning and a half. The Yankees 1 and the Red Sox nothing.
Say, spring is in the air. Spring with its pudgy robins on the lawn, the old cry to play ball, the picnics, the refreshing drives in the country. Yes, the time of year to go places and to do things. And what about going places? Your car. Is it in top shape for this brand new driving season? Let's face it, after a long, hard winter, your car is ripe for a complete checkup. And there's no checkup more complete than Atlantic Safety Service lubrication. Besides a thorough lubrication, your trained Atlantic dealer carefully checks many other safety areas, such as your battery, the fan belt, radiator, tires, windshield wipers, lights, just about everything. And all these extras at no extra cost. Then he wraps it up with a service report, which shows you exactly what's been done and what kind of shape your car is in. A good deal? You bet. And a good man to know, too. Your Atlantic dealer. He'll keep your car on the go with his thorough safety service lubrication. Jackie Jensen leading off for the Red Sox in the bottom of the second inning. And Jensen, before the start of today's game, was presented with the Most Valuable Player award based on that great season last year. Okay, Phil.
And he just started a hit the last 4 innings of yesterday's game. Up with a single and 2 homers. Jackie's batting .250. Johnny Cook's ready. The pitch is hit deep to left. If it stays fair, the ball game's tied up. And it curves foul way over the screen and across the street. Jackie Jensen pulled one, I'd say, no more than 2 or 3 feet foul, deep over the left field wall. Third base umpire Ed Runge followed that ball all the way down the line and just waved his foul at the last second. So it looks like Mr. Jensen has got his eye back, his batting eye, that is. 1 strike on Jackie. Johnny Cook's ready. Sidearm curve is in there. Strike 2. 0-2 on Jensen. On deck, Frank Malzone. Here's the 2-strike pitch as Cook double pumps. Overhand fastball, he swings and foul tips it. Howard just couldn't hold on to it. That pitch completely fooled Jensen, and that is the secret of Cook's coming overhand. He uses it sparingly, just in spots. Most of the times when he's ahead of the hitter with 2 strikes, maybe 1 or 2 balls, he comes directly overhand, and the batter sees it so seldom during the game that he's kind of confused. And Jackie just had a half-hearted cut at it, managed to get a piece of the ball, and it dropped out of Howard's glove. Cook's ready again. Sidearm fastball is low, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's tougher to hit a pitcher who has several different ways of delivering a ball than it is to hit one who delivers it the same way. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch to Jackie. Overhand curve is fouled up. Oh, man, I thought I was going to get that one. Just went over our heads. Happy Durkin was sliding around up here in the booth. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jensen. He's having his cuts up there. Cook's ready. Change-up is lined into right field for a base hit. Jackie Jensen placed that ball beautifully, went with the pitch. A change-up on the outside corner, and Jackie, very wisely, instead of trying to pull it, just went with it. Hit a solid line drive over Richardson's head into right field. The first hit of the ball game for the Red Sox. And Jensen now has 4 base hits in his last 4 times at bat. That brings up Frank Malzone. Malzone is batting .217. 5 for 23. Takes the fastball low, ball 1. Malzone has not started to hit with the authority that everyone knows he's capable of hitting. He is right up there with the leaders in RBIs, and he has yet to drive in his first run of the year.
WOKO, Albany, New York.
The pitch is swung and a miss. The throw to second goes into center field. Jensen has stolen second and stays there. Jackie had slid hard, and the ball went into center field. He could easily have made third, but he was in an awkward position. His 1 foot had hooked the bag and it was sort of stuck under there, and he couldn't make himself get up and continue to third. It'll go as a stolen base for Jackie Jensen. It was sort of a delayed steal. He didn't break with the pitch, and it confused Elston Howard a little bit. Ellie throwing late and low. The ball got by Richardson. No error on the throw. Jensen is at second. 1 ball, 1 strike on Malzone. Nobody out. Yankees lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Fastball is low. Ball 2, 2-1. Malzone, swinging at the pitch on which Jack Jensen was running, was protecting the runner because the pitch was low and away, and it very possibly could have been the hit and run was on. Cook stretches. 2-1 pitches a curve hit out towards short. Kubeck is up with it. Over to Skowron in time for the out. Jensen has to remain at second base. And I bet in this series so far, Malzone has grounded to shortstop at least 5 times. Might even be 6 times in this 3-game series. Four times so far in this series that Malzone has hit to short. He's out in front of the ball a little bit, and he's a little over-anxious to swing, and that's what makes you hit that ball without power and pull to the left side of the diamond. All right, here's Dick Garnett, the big first baseman. He lines one deep to right center field. Bauer digging back, way back, and makes the catch. Jensen tags up, easily goes to third, and there is a tough break for the Red Sox. If Malzone could have advanced Jensen to third, he would have scored easily after that catch, as Garnett hit that ball deep to right center. Bauer running over and making a fine catch. And now it's 2 away with a runner at third and the batter Gary Geiger, the left fielder. Garnett went up there hitting .333. Geiger batting .217. Geiger, a left-hand batter. Outfield switches around towards right on Gary. Carey not playing too deep at third. Jackie Jensen leading off third. Johnny Cook watching him very carefully. Jensen, a real good base runner, capable of stealing home. Here's the windup. The pitch to Geiger is a curve outside, ball 1. 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the second inning on what has turned out to be a beautiful day for a ball game. The 1-0 pitch. Low curve is strike one call. Just catches the inside corner. One and one the count. Two away. Cooks' next pitch, overhand curve, is fouled back against the screen. Strike two. One ball, two strikes. Wind up by Johnny. Overhand fastball is in there. Strike three called. That's that overhand pitch of Cooks' that's so effective with two strikes for the Red Sox in the bottom of the second. No runs, one hit. No Yankee errors. One man left. Score at the end of two full innings. The Yankees won, the Red Sox nothing, and we pause for station identification.
At 1460 on the radio dial, WOKO, Albany, New York. Immediately following the game, listen for Troy Buick's baseball wrap-up.
Playing it smart this year, I mean about your heating oil supply. You know, it's a wise practice to keep your tank full even during the warm weather season, and wise to make it triple refined Atlantic heating oil. Clean, modern heat will be so important to you and your family next fall. So plan ahead now to make sure you'll have it when you need it. Call Atlantic Direct or your local Atlantic heating oil distributor. The Yankees leading 1-0 as we start the top of the third inning. Norm Seaburn's first inning home run, the difference in the ball game so far. Ike Delac opposing Johnny Cooks of the New York Yankees. The Yankees and the Red Sox so far in the series have divided the first two games. The Red Sox winning behind Tommy Brewer on Saturday. And yesterday the Yankees came back to clobber the Red Sox 16-7. Cooks is going to lead off in the top of inning number 3, first time at bat. Ivan Delac peering into Sammy White for the sign. First pitch is high, ball one.
Cooks has not been up to the bat officially so far this year. Ike Delac is out on the mound for the Red Sox. Fastball is in there, strike one, 1-1. Cooks is not the best hitting pitcher in the world. He's not the worst either. Gets a piece of the ball. 1-1 pitch is lined just foul outside of first. Bounces off the wall, retrieved by Jackie Jensen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The lock ready. Delivers a fastball foul out of play to the right. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The next pitch to Cooks is a curve high, ball 2, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out and nobody on. The Lock's 2-2 pitch is high inside. It's a full count on Johnny Cooks. 3-2. Waiting for the payoff pitch. Here it is. He swings and foul tips it. Held on by Sammy White. It's a strikeout. The first one of the game for Ike DeLock. And with one away, it brings up Hank Bauer. Hank fouled out to Sammy White in the first inning, leading off the ball game. DeLock's first pitch to Bauer is a curve outside, ball one. DeLock's next pitch is low outside, ball two, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch is hit on the ground is short. Budden on the short hop over to first. In time to get Bauer. Beautiful play by Don Budden. Actually, he let the ball play him that time. He started in, then backed up, caught the ball on the short hop, and really had to fire it as hard as he could. And Dick Garnett making a fine stretch over at first base. They retire Hank Bauer. Those are the kind of balls you commit with errors on when you back up on a ground ball. But Budden, with his quick hands, caught the bad hop. Two away. Here's Norm Sebring, who homered deep into the screen in left field in the first inning for the only run of the ball game. Sebring takes a curve over strike one. And now the flag in center field is starting to blow. There was no wind about 5 minutes ago. And suddenly the wind has kicked up. The one-strike pitch is low inside, ball 1-1-1. Not exactly blowing out, sort of blowing across from right field to left field. The 1-1 delivery, slow curve high, ball two, 2-1. Two balls and one strike on Norm Sebring. Fastball is hit on the ground in the hole between first and second. Picked up by Garnett, flipped to DeLock, covering in time to get Sebring. A nice play by Dick Garnett and Ike DeLock for the Yankees. In the top of the third, no runs, no hits, no Red Sox errors, no one left. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play, the Yankees 1 and the Red Sox nothing.
Are there times these spring days when your car just doesn't seem to have that touch-and-go response that adds so much to driving pleasure? If so, let me make this suggestion. Drive in at your Atlantic dealers and fill up with Atlantic Imperial gasoline. See if your car doesn't come alive with new pep the moment you step down on the accelerator. Atlantic Imperial sparks the top performance you have a right to expect from your car. Gives you long, long mileage, too. Try Atlantic Imperial soon. Get up and go with the best. That's Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that's better to start with, better to stay with, all the way. Checking our Atlantic scoreboard, Washington and Baltimore tied 1-1 at the end of an inning. Kansas City and Cleveland are scoreless at the end of 2. And Cincinnati leads Philadelphia 5-2 at the end of 3 1/2 innings. Sammy White will lead off for the Red Sox in the bottom of the third. The Yankees leading 1-0. Norm Sebring homered in the first inning. And that's the way the ball game stands as we move to the bottom of the third. Here's Cook's pitch.
Johnny Cook pitching to Sammy White. The first pitch is low outside, ball one. Yankees lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. The next pitch is low inside, ball two, 2-0. Sammy White batting .381 on the year. Right-hand batter, choking up on the bat. 2-0 pitch, high inside, ball three, 3-0. On deck, Don Budden. Ike DeLock due to be the next batter. Here's a 3-0 pitch. It's strike one called over the outside corner. Sammy White looks down at Dave Ferris coaching at first. See if they've got him hitting or taking. The 3-1 pitch is swung and lined, a base hit to center field. Mickey Mantle up with the ball on two hops, and Sammy White pickled that 3-1 pitch, a solid single to center. That's hit number 2 of Johnny Cook's. That'll bring up Ike DeLock. And Dave Ferris walked over to the Red Sox dugout. Time is called. Sammy White wants to talk with him. Getting the sign straight. Now they've got them straightened out. Here's Ike DeLock. DeLock has not been up officially so far this year. Yankee infield looking for the bunt. Here's a stretch by Cook. Quick throw to first, but Sammy White's back there. Skowron trying that trick play that Whitey Ford worked so well down in Baltimore. Again, the stretch. The pitch is bunted, and a good bunt. Skowron up with it, starts to second and throws to first. He had no chance to get Sammy White. The sacrifice works perfectly. That play goes from 3 to 4, from the first baseman to the second baseman, advances Sammy White to second. And it'll bring up Don Budden, who bounced to short in the first inning. The Yankees lead 1-0. We're in the bottom of the third with one out. On deck, Pete Reynolds. Sammy White leading off second. Pitch to Budden is outside, ball one. One ball, no strikes on Don Budden. Cook sets, checks Sammy White leading off. Curve is fouled accidentally to the right of the plate. Strike one, 1-1. One away. Wind is whipping up a little bit now. The flag is almost straight out. 1-1 pitch is a curve that's in there. Strike two called. Big overhand curveball. One ball, two strikes. Red Sox fans trying to generate a little rally here with their applause. Sidearm curve is outside. 2-2 the count. Two balls, two strikes, one out. Sammy White down at second base. Yanks lead 1-0. Norm Sebring homing in the first inning. The only run of the game so far. 2-2 pitch is lined in the left center field. And that'll be off the wall for extra bases. Coming on to score, Sammy White going into second base with a stand-up double, Don Budden. The ball game is all tied up at 1-1 as Don Budden gets his first RBI of the year. A solid line drive off the left center field wall. That Mantle fielded on the first top, but Budden was running all the way from the plate and easily got into second with a stand-up double. So with 1 out, Budden's down at second. Sammy White has scored. The ball game's tied up 1-1. Here's Pete Runnels, who bounced back to the box in the first inning. Pitch to Runnels, inside, ball 1. So Budden has reached first base at least once in every game played so far by the Red Sox. Pitch for Runnels is strike one call. Overhand curve catching the outside corner. One ball, one strike, one out. One run in, one man on. Score 1-1. Lot of aces. Curve inside, ball 2. 2-1. Elston Howard bluffs the throw down to second base. Tony Kubeck is playing close to second. Holding Budden there. Keeping him close. Throw to second. They got him picked off. And a throw back to Carey. Throw back to Kubeck. Kubeck faking him. And tags him out. A nice pickle. Wait a minute. They don't have him yet. Yes, they do. He's called out for going out of the baseline. Kubeck reached to tag him. Missed him. But he's called out for going out of the baseline. And the Yankees had the pickoff play on. We were talking about Kubeck keeping him close. And Kubeck faked him perfectly. He came in. Started back a couple of steps. Then cut over to second, Crooks wheeled around and picked them off. Let's see, 1, 6, 5, 6. That is it. Okay, an assist for Cooks, for Kubeck, for Carey, and a put out for Kubeck. A lot of K's in there. It sounds like a lot of K's. Ball 3 to Pete Runnels. Fastball high outside. Cooks and Carey and Kubeck. So Carey starts with a C. It sounds like a K. Three and 1 on Pete Runnels. 2 out now. Score tied 1-1. There's a drive to deep left, but curving foul back on the roof and out of play. Three and 2 on Pete. Gee, that was a pretty pick-off play. Perfectly timed, well executed by the Yankees. They've been working on plays like that all spring. The 3-2 pitch. Line foul, and the Chiefs. Man, kid just stuck one hand up like he was plucking cherries there, and that ball was hit back there pretty hard. Three and 2. Cook delivers the payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4, he lost him. There's the first walk given up by Johnny Cook. And it'll bring up Gene Stevens. That's the first walk in the game. DeLocke has not walked a Yankee hitter so far. 2 out. Pete Runnels is at first. The score's tied 1-1 here in the bottom of the third. Gene Stevens bounced to second base in the first inning. Change up is low, ball 1. One ball, no strikes on the center fielder for the Red Sox. Quick throw to first with Runnels back. There's a line drive just fouled on the right field line. Got real good wood on that one. Pulled it foul. 1-1 the count. Skowron holding first against Pete Runnels. Mantle deep in right center field. Really deep. It's stretched by Cooks. Fastball is in there. Strike 2 call. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Jackie Jensen on deck. Curve is hit deep to right field. That could be, and it's in there for a home run for Gene Stevens. A high curve ball that he really pulled. Gene Stevens hits his first home run of the year with Pete Runnels on. The Red Sox now lead 3-1. And that was really a solid line drive. He had pulled one foul just before that. And it really jumped into those right field seats close to the foul line. 3-1 in favor of the Red Sox. Here's Jackie Jensen, who singled in the second inning. A high pop to the infield. Andy Carey coming in near the pitcher's mound. Makes the catch for out number 3. So for the Red Sox in the bottom of the third, 3 runs on 3 hits. No Yankee errors and nobody left on base. And the score at the end of 3 full innings. The Red Sox 3, the Yankees 1.
Let's pause here for station identification, and we'll pick up the Atlantic scoreboard. This is the home of Champions Network.
WOKO, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 3 minutes before 3 o'clock. Troy Buick brings you baseball wrap-up immediately following today's game.
At the end of 3 innings, Washington and Baltimore are tied 1-1. The Philly-Cincinnati ball game is in the 4th inning, and Cincinnati leads 6-2. Detroit and Chicago were postponed because of cold weather. At the end of 3, Cleveland 1, Kansas City nothing. Herb Score is pitching in that one against Ray Herbert. Another postponement was the Milwaukee-Pittsburgh game, which was called off due to cold weather they're experiencing out in that part of the country. So there's somewhat of a limited scoreboard today, with the 2 games out on the coast. Chicago playing Los Angeles and San Francisco and St. Louis playing later this afternoon. To move into the top of the 4th, the Red Sox now have moved out ahead in the ball game as Mickey Mantle steps to the plate, with the Red Sox leading 3-1. Ike Deluxe at the pitch. Mantle digs in at the plate. Okay, Phil, let's see what happens here with Mickey Mantle.
Against the lock, the right-hander ready. Mantle swings and misses, strike 1. The 1-strike pitch to Mickey, a foul at the plate, strike 2. 0-2 on Mickey Mantle. DeLocke taking his time out on the mound, rubbing up the baseball. Now he's ready. The windup. And the pitch is just outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That pitch just missed the corner. Elston Howard on deck. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch to Mickey. The curve is high. Ball 2, 2-2. With the count, no balls, 2 strikes on Mantle. DeLocke trying to work on Mickey, get him to swing at his pitch, but he just missed on 2. Counts even at 2-2. Now DeLocke's ready. The 2-2 pitch. Mickey swings and fouls it, going out of play. Over the roof. Back of home plate. Two balls, 2 strikes on Mantle. Mickey looking for home run number 1 on the year to get him started. The pitch, and it's fouled alongside of third, but curving back into the stands out of play, back of the Yankee dugout. Frank Crissetti is the third base coach. Ralph Houk down at first. DeLocke ready again. Pitch is hit on the ground in the hole between first and second, out to right field. Mickey singles, fakes moving to second, and Jensen fires the ball in. Mickey at first is Elston Howard, who fouled to the catcher. Elston Howard, representing the tying run of the ball game for the Yankees. Mantle leading off first. The pitch to Howard is hit on the ground at second base. Runnels goes to second for 1. Back to first, not in time, as Budden had to really leap up in the air to get out of the way of Mantle, who was flying down there. Budden leaped high, couldn't get anything on the ball, which is an advantage of having Mantle running for the Yankees. And so it goes as a 4th play from the second baseman to the shortstop. Howard safe at first. Boy, if Mickey would have hit Budden that time, he'd have really turned him every way but loose. He would really slide into second base. 1 away. Here's Bill Scarron. The Moose fly deep to center field in the first inning. Howard at first with 1 away. Red Sox lead 3-1. We're in the top of the 4th. First pitch to Scarron is high outside, ball 1. Andy Carey on deck. Stretch. And the pitch is swung at and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike on the Moose. Howard leading off first. The lock set. The curve is low. Ball 2, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Skowron lines one in left center field. Geiger is moving over. He's there to make the catch. And Geiger has shown us some pretty fine outfield playing in this series so far. Moves very well and very quick. He's got a lot of range out there. He can go deep to left center, over to the foul line, and come in on a ball. In this park, you don't have to go back in left field. So, of course, we don't know how he can go back, but evidently he can. He's a fine outfielder. 2 away. And here's Andy Carey, who bounced to third in the second inning. Carey swings in. There's a fly ball to left field. Geiger got the range on it and makes the catch close to the foul line for out number 3. For the Yankees in the top of the 4th, no runs. 1 hit, no Red Sox errors, 1 man left. Score at the end of 3.5 innings of play. The Red Sox 3 and the Yankees 1.
It takes an expert to spot potential trouble in your car, and one of the best in the business is your Atlantic dealer. Now that the spring driving season is here, why not let him get your car in top shape with an Atlantic Safety Service lubrication? In addition to a thoroughgoing lubrication following the specifications set down by the manufacturer of your car, you get at no extra cost a complete checkup of the many safety areas that, if neglected, could cause you trouble. Tires, battery, windshield wipers, radiator, fan belt, the muffler, the tailpipe. And also, you get a written report covering the work done and showing you the condition of your car. Get a Safety Service lubrication today from your Atlantic dealer, the man who keeps your car on the go. We're on the go now into the bottom of the 4th inning. The Red Sox, coming up with 3 in the bottom of the 3rd, have turned the ball game around in their favor. Norm Seaburn had homered in the 1st inning, and the Red Sox came back with back-to-back doubles, and then Gene Stevens lined a home run into the lower right field seats. So that's the way the ball game stands as we pick up the bottom of the 4th inning with Frank Malzone leading off for the Red Sox.
If you happen to be out driving in your car today in the vicinity of the Yankee Stadium, the advance ticket office is open and will be open every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get tickets for all Yankee home games. Johnny Cook's ready. The curve to Malzone is low, ball 1. Fastball is hit on the ground. Carey knocks it down, picks it up, fires to first in time to get Malzone. That good gun of Andy Carey. That ball was hit hard, and Carey blocked it with his body. Fell out his feet. He picked it up and fired it across the diamond, 1 away. You don't have to be out riding in your car to pick up tickets at Yankee Stadium. You can be out walking. Here's Dick Garnett, who flied out deep to right center field in the 2nd inning. The fastball is inside, ball 1. Gary Geiger on deck. Red Sox 3 and the Yankees 1. 3rd game of a 4-game series. Each team has won 1 game. Ground ball in the hole. Carey cuts across, can't get it. Kubeck up, the long throw in time to get Dick Garnett. And Kubeck made that play look real easy. Carey lunged in front of him, just couldn't get it. Kubeck, gliding to his right, came up with it, and in one fluid motion, fired across to first to get Garnett. Here's Gary Geiger, who was called out on strikes in the 2nd inning. Cook sends a fastball that's fouled back off the chest protector of plate umpire Frank Tabachi, strike 1. Cooks' next pitch, changeup, is taken over strike two, and Geiger started a bunt at that ball and had the perfect pitch to bunt. It was a changeup. Could have dropped it just about anywhere he wanted. He took it, but it was over for a strike. 0-2. Two-strike pitch. A little high, ball one, as Cooks came in with that overhand pitch, and he had Geiger sort of frozen back with his bat again. If it had been in there, Geiger wouldn't have been able to swing. One ball, two strikes. Two out, no one on. Cooks' curve is strike three call. Geiger called out on strikes for the second time. For the Red Sox in the bottom of the fourth, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, no one left score. At the end of four, the Red Sox 3, the Yankees 1, and here is Joe Ripley with the score.
Thank you, Phil. We'll see you a little later. In the American League, in the first of two games, at the end of 3.5, Washington-Baltimore tied 1-1. Pasquale against Odell. Bertoia homered in the first for Washington. Detroit at Chicago postponed because of cold weather. Kansas City at Cleveland. At the end of 4 full innings, Cleveland 2, Kansas City nothing. Herbert against Score. In the National League, Pittsburgh at Milwaukee also postponed because of cold weather. At the end of 4 full innings, Cincinnati 6, Philadelphia 2. Owens relieved by Short in the second for Philadelphia, and O'Toole going for Cincinnati. Chicago at Los Angeles will start later on. St. Louis at San Francisco will also be a later start. At the end of 4 full innings, here in Boston, on what has turned out to be quite a lovely New England spring day. And after the kind of winters that they have in this part of the country, a spring day can mean a great deal of pleasure for a lot of people. Score 3-1 in favor of Boston. First batter will be Tony Kubeck, grounded to second in the second inning. And now we welcome to our radio microphone that traveling man, Mel Allen.
Hello there, everybody. Your host, Valentine's. We go to the fifth inning. Tony Kubeck hits the first pitch to deep left, and it is up against the wall. Tony turns first, heads for second. Gene Stevens makes the recovery, throws in, but too late. The crisp kind of refresher. Tony Kubeck lines a double off the left center field wall. Geiger played it short, hoping he might leap for it. Stevens came over to take the rebound. Fine teamwork. Tony's first start of the year. Casey now is talking to Jim Turner. They signal the Yankee bullpen. May have a pinch hitter for Cooks, depending on what Bobby Richardson does. And the signal goes to the Yankee bullpen. Bobby Shantz. DeLocke steps off the rubber. Richardson flied to center in the second inning. The ground ball hits the short. And it's bobbled by Button, and Richardson is safe. Kubeck holds second. An error charged to Button. Now Casey is going to have to make a move. Tom Sturdivant starts to warm up along with Bobby Sands. And Yogi's at the bat rack. Berra coming up to hit for Cooks. Bauer talking to Yogi. Yogi with a couple of bats, swinging them around over his head. Tosses one aside to the bat boy and steps in, hitting for Johnny Cooks. Frank Malzone is shortened up at third. Kubeck on second and Richardson on first in the fifth inning. 3-1 Boston. Ike DeLock to the stretch. The pitch to Yogi. Swung on and fouled off on the ground to the right of the plate. Strike one. Now Chance sits down. And it's Sturdivant alone warming up. Ike DeLock getting a sign from White. Into the stretch, and then Yogi asks for time and steps out. Runners lead away from first and second. DeLock's pitch swung on him, missed. Strike two. 0-2. DeLock all set. He pitched to Berra. High outside for a ball. Almost got away from White. 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Berra heading for Cooks here in the fifth. Boston out front 3-1. Kubeck off second, Richardson off first. Ike DeLock studies White's sign. Into his stretch, runners widen their leads, and then Yogi asks for time and steps out again. Now he's back in. Runners had moved back to their bases. Now they're back off. DeLock to his stretch. I look around. And the pitch to Yogi. Swung on it, missed. Strike three. Yogi Berra hitting for Johnny Cooks. Strikes out. Got him on a high fastball. Here's Hank Bauer, foul of the catcher and grounded to short. Fine job of touch pitching by DeLock. The right-hander to his stretch. The pitch to Bauer. Gets away from White, and the runners advance a base each. Kubeck to third and Richardson to second. Pass ball. And now, time has been called. White got hurt on that last pitch. Where the ball hit him. Mike Higgins comes out with the Red Sox trainer, Jack Fadden. Now Higgins is talking to White. I don't know, apparently either the ball hit White on the meat hand or in bending over it. I don't know what happened, to tell you the truth. He's standing up. Higgins and Fadden are talking to him. Now, Jack Fadden and Mike Higgins leave. DeLocke and White are talking. And we're ready to resume play. Red Sox leading 3-1 in the fifth inning. Runners on second and third, one out. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Bauer. DeLocke to the windup and the pitch to Hank. Swung on. There's a liner to left, but Gary Geiger grabs it at the wall. Kubeck tags up and comes on in to score. Richardson was back to second, and it's 3-2. Hank hits the ball right on the noggin, but he hit it low. And Geiger, with his back at the wall, made the catch. Thus it becomes a sacrifice credited to Hank Bauer. The Red Sox call for the ball. Malzone gets it, steps on third, but Ed Runge said no. Kubeck did not leave too soon. Bauer lines to Geiger, is credited with the sacrifice fly as Kubeck scores. 3-2, 2 outs, and Norm Seaburn. He hit a line drive homer to the opposite field, meaning left field in the first inning. Grounded out in the third to the first baseman, Dick Garnett. The pitch from DeLocke. Curve inside, ball 1. Now the pitch. Slow curve over, strike 1. 1-1. Sturdivant will come in to pitch in the last of the fifth. DeLocke's delivery swung on to a fly ball hit out into right field. Jackie Johnson getting under it, makes the catch, and the side's retired. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on. At the end of 4.5 innings of play, Boston 3, New York 2. Now a tune from Pert and Pretty Jill Corey of Columbia Records.
To be tricked of fear must be ice only light. With true lager flavor, precise only right. Lively golden, crystally clear, with crisp refresher. Valentine beer. Hey, get your cold beer. Hey, get your Valentine. Hey, get your cold beer. Get your ice cold Valentine beer.
And hear this. Valentine beer is the crisp kind of light with true lager flavor. It's the largest selling beer in the East. Tom Sturdivant comes in to pitch for New York. And Johnny Cooks, in his 4 innings, allowed 4 hits and 3 runs. Struck out 2 and walked 1. That 1 walk helped the Red Sox cause. After Seaburn had homered in the first inning, the Red Sox came back in the third on White's single, a sacrifice, moved him to second. Budden doubled him home. Budden was picked off. Then Runnels walked and Stevens homered. And the Yankees picked up a run in the first of the fifth. Kubeck's double, an error by Budden. Pass ball and a sacrifice fly. So Johnny Cooks
is in the unenviable position of being charged with the defeat, but cannot possibly be credited with a win. You must now, in a 9-inning game, pitch a full 5 innings before you can be considered for the victory. And at that, your team must be ahead at the conclusion of those 5 innings. The only way Cooks could avoid being charged with a loss would be if the Yankees tied the game up at any point. Sammy White up, last of the 5th. Tom Sturdivant into the windup. Round comes the right arm. The pitch is in there for a strike. One strike delivery. Low outside into the dirt. Ball 1. 1-1. A ball and a strike. And the pitch. Outside, ball 2. Now the 2-1 delivery on its way. Ball 3, a little bit high. 3-1. Sturdivant's next pitch. Over, strike 2, full count. Three balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch swung on. It's a high pop, which Bobby Richardson calls for behind second base. He has it, 1 down. Ike DeLocke will appear from the dugout shortly. He will be followed by Don Budden. Here comes Ike. DeLocke bunted in the 3rd inning and sacrificed White to second. Right-hand batter. In comes the pitch, swung on late, foul tip, strike 1. Ball rebounded off the chest protector of the plate umpire, Frank Tabacci. Patriots Day here tomorrow. 1 game. Sometimes, most frequently through the years, we play a doubleheader. Pitch is high outside for a ball. Usually a morning game and an afternoon game. With the 26-mile-plus marathon run sandwiched in between. The 1-1 pitch is inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 delivery. Swung on, hit foul into the stands, back at 3rd. Quite a scramble. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Now the 2-2 pitch to DeLocke. Right over, called strike 3. 2 men away. And Don Budden comes up, grounded to short and doubled. Some of the fans are booing him for having made the error and having been picked off second, and others, of course, properly applauding him. Kid's done a good job for the Red Sox. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike. I think you get more out of a man with a pat on the back than you do with another pat on the back that's lower down. Here's the pitch. Low outside for a ball. A 1-1 count on Don Budden. And the pitch. Swung on. It's a high pop to short. Tony Kubeck under it. Waiting and takes it. Budden pops out to Kubeck. The side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 5 innings of play, the Red Sox 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on. Make that 1 error with the Red Sox. The Yankees 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on. In the American League, on the Ballantyne scoreboard, first game of a doubleheader, Washington at Baltimore, 1-1 at the end of 5 innings. Pasquale and Odell. Detroit at Chicago postponed cold weather. The Cleveland Indians victorious in 6 consecutive games, trying to make it 7 in a row with Herb Score pitching against Ray Herbert, and Cleveland leading 2-0 at the end of 5 innings. In the National League, Pittsburgh at Milwaukee postponed cold weather. Cincinnati 6, Philadelphia 4 at the end of 5 innings at Cincinnati. Mabe relieved O'Toole in the 5th for Cincinnati. Short relieved Owens in the 2nd for Philadelphia. Chicago at Los Angeles, St. Louis at San Francisco. Later reports. Later starting time. And speaking of time, it's time to pause for station identification.
This is WOKO 1460 on the dial, Albany, New York. WOKO time 3:31. Roy Bjork brings you baseball wrap-up immediately after the game.
Very grateful for Red Barber having come up to sit in for me yesterday. We had the great privilege of making the principal talk at the Silver Anniversary Dinner honoring great basketball coach Taps Gallagher of Niagara University, one of the most university-like men in the sports world. Mickey Mantle leading off in the 6th inning. The pitch inside, ball 1. Mickey's had 2 singles. First time I'd ever seen Niagara Falls, actually. I've driven by them and flown over them, but never got up close to them. The pitch, Mick, is swung on and fouled back out of play. Father Vincent Swords, who is president of Niagara University, and the moderator of athletics, Father Cahill, and Don Alfano, their public relations representative, drove me by. It's an awesome thing, of course. They're building even new power projects up there, making it easier for Lake Erie and Lake Ontario to shake hands. The next pitch is up high. Ball 2, 2-1. Ike DeLocke didn't like the call on that one. Neither did White. DeFetch is trying to walk away from White, and White is walking right with him, facing him, and now DeLocke, who's walking off the mound in toward the plate, walks back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Red Sox 3, Yankees 2, 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Strike 2. 2-2. Elston Howard on deck and Bill Skowron to follow. 2 balls, 2 strikes. DeLocke into the windup. In comes the pitch, and Mantle swings and fouls it off his left leg. Count remains 2-2. Again, the pitch. Mantle takes high and inside, ball 3. Full count. Trying to let up curve. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. Outside for ball 4. Mantle walks. Now coming up is Elston Howard, who fouled to the catcher and grounded to second, forcing Mantle in the 4th inning. Red Sox leading 3-2 in the 6th inning. DeLocke to the stretch. And the pitch. Low outside, ball 1. Stretch by the right-hander, the delivery. Right over, strike 1, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. DeLocke ready. There goes Mickey. The pitch is swung on. There's a ground ball to Malzone, who flips on to first in time. Howard grounds out. Malzone to Garnett. With Mickey running, no chance to head off the front man. Now Bill Skowron steps in. Fly to center and left center. DeLocke into his stretch. The pitch to Skowron, swung on and fouled off, out of play to the right of the plate, strike 1. DeLocke to the rosin bag. DeLocke is primarily a breaking stuff pitcher. Doesn't throw too many fastballs. Now he's ready, delivers, and the pitch is low outside for a ball, 1-1. One out. Mantle leading off second. 3-2 Red Sox, 6th inning. 1-1 the count on Skowron. Here's DeLocke's pitch. Swung on, fouled off, out of play. Back at first. A 1-2 count. One ball, two strikes. DeLocke sets. Checks Mantle. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. The let-up curve gets Skowron. 2 outs now. And here's Andy Carey. Grounded to third and flied to left. DeLocke ready to pitch to Andy. Here it is. Inside, ball one. Next pitch. Inside, ball two. 2-0. Threw Andy a couple of sinkers. Used to call them drops. 2-0 delivery now from DeLocke. Over, strike one, 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Ike DeLocke to the stretch. Mantle leads off second. The 2-1 pitch to Carey. Swung on. There's a base hit through the middle, out over second into center. Mantle turns third, comes on in to score. It's a tie ball game, 3-3. Andy Carey rips a single to center. Driving in his 5th run of the season. Tony Kubeck, who grounded to second in the 2nd inning, doubled in the 5th off the left center field wall. Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. DeLocke into his stretch. They pitch to Kubeck. It's in there, strike one. Nothing and one the count. And the pitch. Swung on, foul back, strike two, 0-2. Curved him in on the handle. A 2-strike count on Tony. DeLocke looking over the Yankee dugout. Casey's going through some gestures as if he's talking to the base runner, Carey. Now we're ready. And the pitch is swung on. The ground ball hit the button. He outruns Carey to the bag for the unassisted force out. And the side's retired. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left on. At the end of 5.5 innings, the Yankees 3, the Red Sox 3. Seeing Niagara Falls. Of course, a lot of folks have seen them, even if they haven't been there on a honeymoon, you know. You have to arrive there at the right time anyway, because on the Canadian side, the mist that comes up almost obliterates the falls. And that's something you should never have missed. Just as you should never have missed trying Ballantine beer. You know, some daffy situations come up in sports. Good hunting country around up in there, you know, Canadian border and all. Up around Michigan. After a Michigan hunter failed to hit the first 6 birds, his dog pointed to the birds, and hunter missed them. The dog got disgusted, went loping off, and returned with a live grouse in its mouth. A fellow in England was refused membership to a golf club, so rather than fight the powers that be, he bought the place outright. Easier to do it. On the lighter side of beer, try the crisp refresher, Ballantine beer. Truly light and gives you all the honest-to-goodness lager beer flavor you want. Largest selling beer in the East, Ballantine. Pete Reynolds leads off from the last of the 6th, takes outside for a ball. Tom Sturdivant's delivery. Swung on, hit foul back at third out play. Reynolds, Stevens, and Jensen, the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order. Last of the 6th, 3-3. Reynolds hit to the box and walked. Tom Sturdivant came on to pitch in the 5th inning. Cooks worked the first 4. Tom flips. It's a knuckleball outside. The count is 2-1. The 2-1 delivery. High, ball 3. 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. And the 3-1 pitch. Outside and high, ball 4. Reynolds gets a walk. Now here's Gene Stevens, who grounded to second, hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning following a walk to Reynolds. We're getting some action in the Red Sox bullpen. The pitch to Stevens, inside, ball 1. Mike Cornelius is warming up, along with Murray Wall. The pitch, there goes the runner. It's swung on, lined into center. Mantle backs up and takes it. Reynolds slamming on the brakes, turns and goes back to first. Gene Stevens lines to deep center. Here's Jackie Johnson, who singled and popped to third. It's not Murray Wall, it's Mofert, number 35, warming up. Sturdivant checks the runner. There he goes. The pitch is swung on, hit to Skowron, who steps on first to retire Jackie. With Reynolds advancing to second. With a hit-and-run play on, Jensen bounces out to Bill Skowron, who had only the one play. Here's Frank Malzone now, grounded to short and third. 2 down, and the potential tie-breaking run in scoring position. Same situation as existed in the first half of this inning, a walk. Runner advancing to second, and with 2 outs, the third baseman up. The pitch, low outside for a ball. Andy Carey delivered a single to drive the run home, and now Malzone has that same opportunity. 3-3 the score, sixth inning. The Yankees run, by the way, in the sixth took Johnny Cooks off the hook as possible losing pitcher. Here's the delivery. Low outside, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes on Frank Malzone. Sturtevant ready. And the pitch. Outside, ball 3, 3-0. Nothing pitch. It's in there, strike 1, 3-1. Reynolds leads off second base. Sturtevant shakes off a sign. Okay's the next one. Into the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on, fouled off, out of play to the right of the plate. Strike 2. Full count. 3-2 on Malzone. Ready for the payoff pitch. Reynolds leads off second base. Here it is. Swung on and fouled back. Count remains 3-2. Count on Malzone. Ready for the payoff pitch once more. Here it is. Swung on and fouled off again to the right of the plate. Into the stand. Three balls, 2 strikes. 3-3 the score. Last of the sixth. Pete Reynolds on second base. Sturtevant ready. He delivers, swung on, foul back again up onto the screen. Count remains 3-2. Malzone's hanging in there. He's really guarding that plate. Casey gestures to Sturtevant. Come sidearm and just... I wish he could take pictures of Casey throughout a game. Full count now. Reynolds leads off second, and the pitch is low outside. Curved him, ball 4. And Dick Garnett is the batter. He flied to right and grounded to short. Baseball is a tremendous game. because there are situations that are constantly developing in it. Reynolds leads off second. Malzone off first. Sturdivant to the stretch. The pitch to Garnett. Over for a strike. 0-1. Reynolds on second. Malzone on first. The next pitch. Swung on and missed. Throw down to first, and he got Malzone trapped off. Beautiful throw by Elston Howard to Skowron, and Malzone is picked off by 15 feet. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on. And the score at the end of 6 innings of play, the Yankees 3, the Red Sox 3. The Yankees, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 4 left on. The Red Sox, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on. Washington got 3 runs in the 6th inning as we look at the Ballantyne scoreboard. By the way, a while ago, I was talking about some of the lighter side of sports. This is true. A convicted pickpocket was arrested for not wearing boxing gloves to a major league ballpark. That violated a judge's previous order. But, protested the nimble-fingered friend with boxing gloves on, can't eat popcorn. 23 skidoo. That actually happened. Speaking of popcorn, goes so good with Ballantyne beer. Washington 4, Baltimore 1. At the end of 5 1/2 innings, first game of the doubleheader. Pasquale against Odell with Wilhelm in the 6th and Ernie Johnson in the 7th. Vittoria homered in the 1st. Detroit, Chicago, cold weather postponed the game. Cleveland leads Kansas City 2-0 to end of 7 innings. Herb score against Ray Herbert, and the Indians are on their way to a 7th consecutive win. They're off to a hot start and will be at Yankee Stadium Tuesday night, May 12th, and Wednesday afternoon, May 13th. National League, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, postponed cold weather. Cincinnati 10, Philadelphia 4, end of 6 innings. Made for O'Toole in the 5th. For Philadelphia, Owens, Short in the 2nd, Farrell in the 6th. Chicago, Los Angeles, St. Louis, San Francisco, later starts. Bobby Richardson takes the ball as we go to the 7th inning. Fly to center and was safe on an error by Don Budden. Next pitch is outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Bobby takes it outside from Ike DeLocke for ball 3. I believe that's Moford, isn't it? Warming up. Herb Moford warming up for the Red Sox. DeLocke aims his 3-0 pitch, and it's in there for strike, 3-1. The Red Sox right-hander to the windup. In comes the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, say high fly ball into medium right center, which Jensen corrals, and there's one away. Tom Sturdivant coming up. Sturdivant bats left-handed. DeLocke delivers, and Sturdy takes a strike. 0-1. 3-3, seventh inning. Now the pitch. Swung on, little tap to the mound. DeLocke takes it, tosses on to Garnett, and Sturdivant's out. 2 up, 2 down, and here's Hank Bauer. Foul to the catcher, grounded short, lined out to left. Scored as a sacrifice fly, since it enabled Kubeck to score from third base. Three in the seventh inning. The pitch to Hank is inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Bauer. Outside, ball 2. Herb Score blanked Kansas City in the 8th inning, and so Cleveland still leads 2-0 as they bat in the last of the 8th. Ex-Yankees Joe Gordon managing the Indians has got them flying high. Two 2-0 count on Bauer. DeLocke delivers, and Hank takes outside for ball 3. 3-0. Hank's had his look to see whether he can swing if he wants to. 3-0 pitch. Way outside for ball 4. Hank was not having any. Norm Seaborn homered in the first inning, grounded to first and flied to right. 2 outs. Pitch to Seaborn is low inside, ball 1. DeLocke's pitch. High, ball 2, 2-0. DeLocke is pitching what I call a rather studied game. Measuring every pitch. Have to here. And the delivery. It's over the inside corner for a strike, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swung on, hit to Garnett at first. He's up with it, steps on first. Seaborn's retired, and so are the Yankees in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. To end of 6.5 innings. Yankees 3, Red Sox 3. Now we're going to serve up a musical treat with a marimba beat.
Icily light with true lager flavor, precisely right. Precisely right. Lively golden, crystally clear, the crisp refresher. The crisp refresher. Valentine beer. Hey, get your cold beer. Hey, get your time. Hey, get your cold, cold beer. Get your ice cold Valentine beer.
Valentine beer is the crisp kind of light with true lager flavor. No wonder it's the largest selling beer in the East. The last half of the seventh inning, Dick Garnett up, Gary Geiger on deck, and Sammy White to follow. You know, the Yankees have picked off about 4 or 5 men in the last week. Seldom see so many pickoff plays in that short a time. The pitch is swung on, a hard shot through short into center for a base hit. Mantle up for the ball, tosses back into Kubeck. And Dick Garnett hits the first pitch between Kubeck and second base on the ground into center. That's the 5th Red Sox hit. Nobody out, and here's Gary Geiger, who twice looked at third strike, batting against Johnny Cooks. First time he's faced Tom Sturdivant. Red Sox bullpen's busy. The pitch is bunted foul to the left of the plate, strike one. Nothing in one, the count on Gary Geiger. Garnett has his lead. Sturdivant delivers. Geiger bunts the ball nicely. Andy Carey plays it to first base. And racing over now is Kubeck to cover third. He's down at second to take a throw, should one be forthcoming. Then broke out for third base, or lit out for third, with Carey having to come in and play the ball to first and nobody covering third. Sacrifice for Gary Geiger, who is out. Carey to Skowron. Garnett moves to second. Here's Sammy White, who singled to center and pops to second. Wall and Mulford warming up. Tom Sturdivant's pitch. Outside, ball one. Sturdivant checks his runner, leading off second. Dick Garnett pitches. Sammy White takes it into the dirt, gets away from Howard. Over to third goes Garnett. Wild pitch. Threw a knuckleball into the dirt. Now the Red Sox have the lead run on third base with one out. And that forces the infield in on the right side. Richardson and Skowron for a play at the plate. Kubeck playing it halfway at short. Andy at third is in close. 2 balls, no strikes on White. Tom to the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on. There's a drive to deep right center. Bauer racing hard, makes the catch. Garnett tags up and comes home easily and scores. Boston leads 4-3. Sacrifice fly for Sammy White. And it is 4-3 in favor of Boston. Now Ike DeLocke is scheduled to come up. Here he is. Red Sox 4, New York 3. DeLocke bats right-handed. observant to the windup, and the pitch is in there. Strike one. In comes the pitch for strike two. Nothing in two. Two-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Sides retired. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on. At the end of 7 innings of play, the Red Sox, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. The Yankees, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 5 men left on. Phil will be coming on over. Finish up the game with you. We swap about. Some people wrote in, had written in, wondering about what we mean about the switching, because in the Upstate Network we don't televise, just radio. We televise almost every Yankee game, all home games, most of the road games, which does not go to all portions of the so-called Home of Champions network. And so we swap about when we do both radio and television. So Phil will be over in a minute. In the meantime, here's Joe Ripley.
Okay, Mel, on the Valentine's scoreboard in the American League, in the first of 2, Washington at Baltimore. At the end of 6.5 innings, Washington 4, Baltimore 1. Pasquale relieved by Hyde in the 7th. Odell started, Wilhelm in the 6th, and Ernie Johnson in the 7th. Detroit at Chicago postponed because of cold weather. Kansas City at Cleveland. At the end of 8 full innings, it was Cleveland 2, Kansas City nothing, but Tuttle has homered in the 9th inning for Kansas City. Kansas City still at bat. Herbert and score. In the National League, Pittsburgh at Milwaukee, postponed because of the cold weather. Philadelphia at Cincinnati at the end of 7 full innings. Cincinnati 12, Philadelphia 5. Owens relieved by Short and Farrell. O'Toole relieved by Mabe. Robinson homered in the 7th with 1 on. Chicago at Los Angeles and St. Louis at San Francisco will get started later on. Go on the top of the 8th inning here in Boston. Mickey Mantle up, and Phil Rizzuto is sitting down.
Okay, Joe. Mickey is 2 for 2. Single to center, single to right, and walk. The Red Sox lead 4-3 in a real exciting ball game up here at Fenway Park. Ike DeLocke. Double pump. The pitch to Mickey is fouled back, strike 1. Now let's pause for station identification.
WOKO 1460 on the dial, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 12 minutes after 4. Troy Buick brings you baseball wrap-up immediately following the game.
One strike on Mantle. Red Sox have Leo Carley and Murray Wall still warming up in the bullpen. DeLocke tired a little last inning. Mickey takes a curve just outside 1-1 to count. Outfield deep and around towards right on Mickey. Gary Geiger playing practically over in left center field. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Mickey swings, fouls it back, out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Elston Howard on deck. DeLocke with a new baseball. Taking a little more time now between pitches. He realizes that any mistake right now could tie the old ball game up. Mickey swings a ground ball. Garnett off his glove. And Mickey's safe at first. Dick Garnett, who's played a fine game, comes up with an error. It was a hard-hit ball, just a little bit to his right. Garnett had his glove on the ball that just squirted out. And I'll tell you what's tough about balls hit by fellas like Mickey Mantle and Ted Williams. They hit the ball with overspin. They hit the ball on the upswing. And when that ball hits in your glove, I know for a fact, because I've got a couple squared out of my glove playing against Williams, the ball hits and is spinning continuously. And if you don't grip it real tight, it'll squirt right out. So Mantle's on first with an error. Mickey scored the tying run when the Yankees were trailing 3-2 in the sixth. He's on now as the leadoff hitter, and here's Elston Howard, who was popped to the catcher, hit into a fourth play, and bounced out. Mickey has been on first 3 times with Howard at bat. The pitch to Elston is high, ball 1. Ellie has to hit the dirt. That's the second error of the ball game for the Red Sox. The first one was costly. It cost them a run. Quick throw to first, Mickey back just ahead of the tag. Mickey looks like he's anxious to steal. Here's a stretch. Quick throw to first. And, man, with a good throw, they'd have had Mantle that time. Mickey was leaning to second. DeLocke whirled and fired quickly, but it was in the dirt, and Garnett made a nice job knocking the ball down. They had Mickey that time. But the throw was low and couldn't be held by Garnett. He's back safely. No error on the play. 1 ball on Elston Howard. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Red Sox lead 4-3. Howard, a ground ball to second. Could be it. Oh, it bounces over Ronald's head. A base hit. A perfect double play ball. Took a wicked hop over Pete Ronald's head for a base hit. I mean, you wouldn't want a better ball hit at you for a double play to get you out of the inning, and it hit something just in front of Ronald and bounced about 6 feet over his head. And look at poor Pete, Ike DeLocke, and Don Budden, and the Red Sox fans. I can just hear them now, those lucky Yankees. They are lucky. They're good to go along with it. You've got to have a little bit of luck. And that was it right there. Hit number 6 off Ike DeLocke, a real heartbreaker for the Red Sox and a great break for the Yankees. And here's Bill Scowen with runners at first and third. The tying run over at third. No one out. Sammy White is out on the mound talking with DeLocke. That's something you might see happen 2 or 3 times a year, a bad hop like that. And a fielder feels so bad about it because there's nothing you can do. It feels so helpless out there. All right, runners at first and third, nobody out. Cassetti telling Mantle to go in on a ground ball hit to keep out of the double play. The pitch to Scowen is popped in the air. There's a break for the Red Sox. Budden is back in short left. He makes the catch. Mantle has to hold at third and Howard at first. And Scowen threw that bat away. He was really mad. Scowen pops to shortstop Don Budden in short left field for out number 1. 1 away, and the batter is Andy Carey, who singled to drive in the tying run in the 6th inning with 2 out. Carey also bounced the third, fly to left. And now there is a big, big break for the Red Sox, because now they have a chance to get a DP and get out of the inning. Mantle's at third, Howard is at first. There's 1 away here in the top of the 8th. The Red Sox lead 4-3. The infield's playing back in double play depth. Mantle is at third, Howard at first. The stretch, the pitch is high, ball 1. Andy has a big hole to shoot at between first and second. Ronald's playing close to second. Garnett holding the bag against Elston Howard. Sort of a push bunt in that direction would get the run in easily and maybe a base hit. A fly ball to short center. This could be trouble. Stevens got it. Here's Mantle coming, and he's held up. And what a throw Stevens makes.
Gene Stevens got on that play. Carey sent a low liner to short center field. Mantle tagged up. Stevens made the catch. Mickey started in, but when he saw Stevens uncork a beautiful throw all the way in on a fly to Sammy White, he wisely held up. He'd have been a dead duck. Mantle is back at third. Howard is at first with 2 out now, and the batter Tony Kubeck. These Red Sox are battling the Yankees tooth and nail right down the wire. Ike DeLocco has had 2 tough breaks against him in this ball game, one which has cost him. This one, the inning is not over yet, but he's trying desperately to pitch his way out of a tough jam. As Tony Kubeck to get out, Kubeck has bounced to second, double to left, and hit into a force play. 2 away here in the top of the 8th. The Red Sox lead 4-3. The lock sets. The pitch to Kubeck is popped in the air to right center. Stevens going back. He's got room. He's under it. Makes the catch for out number 3. Gets a standing ovation along with Ike DeLocco on a sensational job of defense and pitching by the Boston Red Sox to get out of a tough jam. And for the Yankees in the top of the 8th, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left on base to score at the end of 7.5 innings of play. The Red Sox 4 and the Yankees 3. Oh man, you talk about excitement here. This is really a good ball game. And say, if you're a fellow who enjoys a good glass of beer, you'll be interested in this. Ballantine is the largest selling beer in the East. And mister, that's important. Because when you feel like a cool, refreshing glass of beer, you want nothing but the best, right? And if one beer stands out head and shoulders above 250 others the way Ballantine does, well, you know that beer must be top. And Ballantine is. Tops in taste, tops in refreshment. Now let me put it this way. Ballantine beer is the crisp kind of light, the kind with true lager flavor. So, if you're a fellow who enjoys lightness and flavor, the 2 things that really count in beer, latch on to Ballantine beer, the crisp refresher. Remember, Ballantine is the largest selling beer in the East. Yes, sir, that inning shook me up a little bit. I saw some fine stout pitching by Ike DeLocco and some fine defensive play by Gene Stevens in center field. Imagine having a runner at first and third and having to face Scar and Carey and Kubeck with nobody out and keeping the Yankees from scoring. Well, DeLocco did it. Here's Don Budden, who bounced to short, popped to short, and doubled. The knuckleball is high, ball 1. Tom Sturdivant on the mound for the Yankees. The Red Sox lead 4-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. Sturdivant's next pitch is high inside, ball 2, 2-0. The Yankees will have to go to their pinch hitters next inning. They'll have Richardson, Sturdivant, and Bauer. The 2-0 pitch is over, strike 1 call. The Yankees have yet have no one warming up in the bullpen. But they will very shortly. There's a foul back out of play. 2-2 the count. Two balls, 2 strikes. Sturdivant's next pitch is a curve foul. Bounced out of the glove of Elston Howard. 2-2 the count. Pete Reynolds is on deck. The 2-2 pitch is hit in the air to straightaway center field. Mantle going back, turns under it. makes the catch in straightaway center field in just about the deepest part out there. Had he pulled that ball a little bit, would have been long gone. One away. Here's Pete Runnels, who hit back to the box and walked twice. Runnels has scored 1 run. Runnels has really been a thorn in the Yankees' side in this series so far. Ball 1. On Sturdivant into the windup. The pitch is a curve in there. Strike 1, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Knuckleball is fouled down the left field line, out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Knuckleball is low. Ball 2, 2-2. Bobby Shands is loosening up now for the Yankees. Curve inside. Full count on Pete Runnels. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. There's no one on here in the bottom of the 8th. The Red Sox lead the Yankees 4-3. Fastball is hit on the ground at second base. Richardson is up with it. Over to Skowron, and it's 2 away. 2 out, and here's Gene Stevens, and he'll get a round of applause. Not only for his fine defensive play all season, and especially in this game, but for his offensive work, too. He homered in the 3rd inning with a man on, driving in 2 runs. Big factor in the Red Sox leading the Yankees 4-3 here. Left-hand batter, 6'3", 185 pounds. Takes the knuckleball outside, ball 1. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch is in there, strike 1 called, 1-1. One pitch is a knuckle low, ball 2, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. There's a ball fouled back, strike 2, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Sturdivant into the windup. He swings and misses, strike 3. For the Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th, no runs. No hits, no Yankee errors, no one left. They score at the end of 8 full innings. The Red Sox 4 and the Yankees 3. Let's take a last look, maybe, at the scoreboard, providing the Yankees don't tie it up. In the American League, Washington 4, Baltimore 1 at the end of 6.5, first of 2. Hyde against Johnson now in that ball game. Bertoya homered in the first inning. Detroit at Chicago postponed cold weather. And here is really an exciting ball game at playing the bottom of the 9th inning at Cleveland. Cleveland was leading 2-0. In the top of the 9th, Kansas City came up with 4 runs. Tuttle homered in the ninth. Herb score against Ray Herbert. We're now in the bottom of the ninth. Woody Held has homered, his fifth of the year. It's a 4-3 ball game. That ball game is not over as yet. As you know, Cleveland has yet to be defeated this year. In the National League, Pittsburgh at Milwaukee postponed cold weather. Cincinnati leads Philadelphia 12-5 at the end of 8. Meyer against Mabe now. Robinson homered in the seventh, one on. Chicago at Los Angeles start later on. And St. Louis at San Francisco. Jackson against Antonelli. Well, this is it. The top of the ninth. Enos Slaughter is coming on to bat for Bobby Richardson. Country Slaughter batting for Bobby Richardson in the top of the ninth. The Red Sox lead 4-3. Ike DeLock, who has gone all the way for Boston. Well, the Red Sox have Leo Kiley and Murray Wall still loosening up in the Red Sox bullpen. Here's the first pitch to Slaughter. Strike one, a fastball on the outside corner. To deep right field, way back. And it's a home run for Enos Slaughter. Country Slaughter pinch hitting in the top of the ninth inning. Hits a home run deep into the Red Sox bullpen. Everybody is shocked. Jensen is still leaning against the bullpen. All the Red Sox players have their hands on their hips. I tell you, that Country Slaughter is an amazing man. He's even got Jim Turner smiling, and when you can do that, that is really something. The ball game's tied up 4-4. DeLock is looking out to the right field. He just can't believe it. He just can't believe it. And while the Red Sox are in a state of shock, we'll pause for station identification.
WOKO, Albany, New York. Stay tuned for Sports Roundup, presented by Troy Buick, immediately following the game. WOKO time, 4:31.
We're going to have another pinch hitter for Tom Sturdivant. Cletus Boyer is coming up to bat for Sturdivant. Cletus Boyer takes the pitch in there, strike one call. There's a foul back. Boom, right in the press box. Did it hit anybody? No. Strike two. 2 strikes on Cletus Boyer. The ball game tied up with that pinch hit home run of Enos Slaughter. The curve is just outside ball one. DeLock goes into the windup. The pitch is hit right at Garnett at first base for out number one. One away. That'll bring up Hank Bauer. Hank pops to the catcher, bounced to short, hit a sacrifice fly to left to drive and a run and walk. DeLock working slowly. Pitches to Bauer, a curve high, ball one. The fastball is low. Ball 2-0. Final score there, Kansas City defeated Cleveland 4-3. There's a base hit through the middle, out to center field. Bauer singles to center. DeLocke stuck his foot out, tried to deflect it, but it got by him. So Hank's on with his first base hit of the game, and it's hit number 8 for the Yankees in the ball game. And Dave Ferris is coming out to the mound. And that could be all for Ike DeLocke, who has pitched a real good game for the Boston Red Sox. Sammy White and Dave Ferris are out to the mound with Ike DeLocke. Norm Siebern is due to be the next batter. And then he'll be followed by Mickey Mantle, Elston Howard, and Bill Skowron. And that's all for Ike DeLocke. Leo Crowley, a left-hander, is being called in to pitch to Norm Siebern. So Ike DeLocke is out of there after pitching 8 1/3 innings. He allowed 8 hits, walked only 2, struck out 3, and has allowed 4 runs so far. Now, the runner at first, Hank Bauer, is DeLocke's responsibility. Should he score, DeLocke could possibly be the losing pitcher. But as it stands now, DeLocke cannot be the winning pitcher. Leo Crowley, the left-hander, born in Hoboken, New Jersey. Last year won 5 and lost 2 for the Red Sox. Crowley is 6'2" and 185 pounds. Casey Stengel and Frank Crissetti both talking with Norm Siebern. The old professor now walking over to Crissetti in the third base coaching box, talking with the Crow. Now Casey's walking back in the Yankee dugout. Ferris talking with Leo Kiley out on the mound. It's been quite a ball game. The Yankees scored in the first inning on a homer by Norm Siebern. And the Red Sox came back with 3 in the third inning, featured by a 2-run homer by Gene Stevens. The Yankees scored 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. And the Red Sox came back with 1 in the 7th to go ahead 4-3. And here in the top of the 9th, Enos Slaughter pinch hits a home run into the Red Sox bullpen. A drive about 400 feet. And after Cletus Boyer pinch hitting for Sturdivant, flying to first base, Bauer singled. DeLocke was taken out, and Leo Kiley is put in the ball game. Murray Wall is still throwing out in the Red Sox bullpen. We were talking to Frank Sullivan, the big right-hand pitcher for the Red Sox. He was laid up with a virus, but one of the real bad cases. Had a fever for about 6 days and just been out of the hospital. He had a little touch of pneumonia along with it. And Frank will have to get in shape all over again. It'll be spring training for him once again. All right, we're ready to go now. Kiley completes his warm-up tosses. Norm Siebern steps into the batter's box. Bauer is at first with 1 away. The score is tied 4-4 here in the top of the 9th. Malzone is in at third. Garnett holding Bauer at first, ready to charging. Here's the stretch. The pitch is strike 1, sidearm curveball. Siebern taps home plate. Here's the stretch. The pitch is bunted foul back onto the screen in back of home plate. 2 strikes on Norm Sebring. And now we have 2 right-handers warming up for the Yankees, Ryan Duran and Murray Dixon. Bobby Shands has sat down. 2 strikes on Norm Sebring. Bauer, short lead off first. Kiley stretches. The pitch to Sebring is foul tipped and couldn't be held by Sammy White. A life for Norm. One away, 0-2 the count on Sebring. Mickey Mantle on deck. Kiley stretches, checks Bauer off first. The pitch is fouled at the plate. Side-on curveball, and Sebring just did get a piece of it. Nothing in 2 the count. Kiley goes to the rosin bag. Got his work cut out for him. There's the stretch. Another foul back of home plate. Another new baseball for Kiley. Nobody's leaving this ball game early. Lots of excitement. Kiley ready. Pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stands way back in the box. Kiley delivers a curve hit deep to right, but going foul way back there. Off the top of the roof and bounding down into the box seat. Sebring got around on that one. Hit it plenty far enough, but not quite the right direction. Sebring making Kiley pitch. Kiley trying to make Sebring hit his pitch. Stretches. Looks at Bauer. The pitch is strike 3. Caught him that time. Strikes out. Norm Sebring. And here's Mickey Mantle. And Mickey will be batting right-handed against Leo Kiley. Mickey has been on base 4 times. 2 hits, a walk, and he reached on an error. Mr. Kiley must pitch very carefully to Mickey Mantle, away from him, definitely. If he gets anything inside, he's liable to find himself behind in the ball game. Here's the stretch by the left-hander. Pitch to Mickey. Low outside, ball 1. On deck, Elston Howard. Again, Kiley sets. Mantle holding that bat straight up. Swings and misses strike 1, and there's that pitch. Outside. A left-handed fastball that goes away from a right-hand batter, and Mantle trying to pull at that short left field wall. If Kiley doesn't make a mistake, Mantle will be in trouble, but if Kiley should make a mistake, he'll be the one in trouble. As long as he keeps that ball away and Mantle tries to pull, got nothing to worry about. Here's the stretch. The pitch. Low outside, ball 2, 2-1. Everything will try to be pitched outside. Ryan Duran is warming up all by himself out in the Yankee bullpen, and Murray Wall for the Red Sox. 2 balls, 1 strike on Mickey. Here's the stretch. Bauer dances off first. The pitch. Strike 2. Way outside. That one was low and outside, and Mickey really fished for it. Casey's walking up and down the bench. He knows the dangers of this left field wall, how every right-hand hitter tries to pull. And he knows with Mantle's tremendous power, if Mickey should go the opposite way, he could hit one out of here in right field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bauer off first. The pitch. Strike 3, low and outside. And I mean to tell you that Kiley pitched Mantle perfectly. Everything was low and away, and Mickey was trying to pull, and he struck him out. For the Yankees in the top of the ninth, 1 run on a home run by Enos Slaughter, pinch hitting for Bobby Richardson. 2 base hits. No Red Sox errors, 1 man left. Score at the end of 8.5 innings of play. All tied up. The Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 4. Well, Ryan Duran is out on the mound for the New York Yankees. Johnny Cook pitched the first 4 innings. Tom Sturdivant pitched the next 4 innings. And Duran is coming up here now for the bottom of the 9th. So neither Cook nor Sturdivant can be the winning or the losing pitcher. Right now, it is Ryan Duran's game. Ike DeLocke, who started the game for the Red Sox and won 8 1/3 innings, giving up 8 hits and 4 runs, cannot be the winning pitcher. Leo Kiley is the pitcher of record right now. The score is tied 4-4 in the bottom of the 9th. Duran will be facing Jackie Jensen, Frank Malzone, and Dick Garnett. Any one of the 3 who can hit that ball well over the fence here in Fenway Park. Just a quick look at the scoreboard without the Baltimore leads Washington 7-4 at the end of 7. Kansas City defeated Cleveland 4-3. That's the first loss for Cleveland on the year. Detroit at Chicago postponed cold weather. Pittsburgh and Milwaukee postponed because of cold weather. Chicago at L.A., St. Louis at San Francisco, not gotten underway as yet. And Cincinnati defeated the Phillies 12-5. All right, Jackie Jensen steps into the batter's box. Jensen singles, popped for third, bounced to first. Ryan Duran. The first pitch to Jensen, high ball 1. As Duran fogged that ball in there. Duran relieved Art Ditmar down in Baltimore and had a little bit of trouble getting the side out. Before he did, Baltimore went on to win it, though Art Ditmar was charged with the loss. 1 ball on Jackie Jensen. Duran ready. The pitch. Outside ball 2, 2-0. Balls and no strikes on Jackie Jensen. Duran into the windup. Pitch is strike 1 as he swings and misses, and what a cut he had at that one. Woo! If he had hit that one, we'd all be going home to take a shower right now. Balls and 1 strike to count on Jensen. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Nobody out, nobody on. Score tied 4-4. Duran's next pitch. Low outside, ball 3, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Duran's pitch. Strike 2. He swings and misses a high inside fastball. Full count on Jensen. Three balls, 2 strikes. Duran checks the sign from Elston Howard. Here's the payoff pitch. Low, ball 4. He lost him. Duran walks Jensen, leading off the bottom of the 9th, puts the winning run at first base. Here's Frank Malzone. Malzone bounced to short, bounced to first, and walked. The Yankees have picked 4 men off base so far in this season, figuring them out before. They picked off Neiman and Boyd down in Baltimore. Howard to Scarron on 1 and Ford to Scarron on 1. They picked off Budden and Malzone here today. Cooks to Kubeck and Howard to Scarron. Jensen leads off first. Here's the stretch. Malzone tries to sacrifice, takes it low, ball 1 with Carey charging in and Scarron coming in. 1 ball. Jerry Lumpy is out at second base, taking over for Bobby Richardson. See, the Yankees have Sebring, Mantle, and Bauer in the outfield. Carey, Kubeck, Lumpy, and Scarron in the infield. Howard catching. Duran pitching. 1 ball. Here's the stretch. Jensen with a big lead off first. The pitch is bunted. A good bunt. Scarron stops the second, throws to first in time to get Malzone, and the sacrifice works. From 3 to 4 from the first baseman to the second baseman. 1 away. Here's Dick Garnett. Garnett is looking in the Red Sox dugout to see if he is going to bat. Dick slide to right, bounce to short, single to center. The winning run is down at second base. Duran stretches. The pitch. Strike 1 call. Duran takes plenty of time in between pitches. Jensen leading off second. Duran stretches. The pitch is strike 2, swings and misses a high fastball. Nothing in 2 on Dick Garnett with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. The score tied 4-4. Jackie Jensen leads off second. Gary Geiger is on deck. The stretch. The pitch is fouled back to the right, out of play. Off the Skyview seats, back down into the box seat. 2 strikes. Nothing in 2 on Dick Garnett. Jackie Jensen down at second. Ryan Duran stretches. Pitch is hit high in the air to left field. Going back is Sebring, but he's got room in front of the scoreboard. Makes the catch for out number 2. And I want to tell you, if this had been yesterday, the ball game would have been over. That would have been a home run. The wind is not blowing out. A high fly ball to left field that pushed Stephen back to the scoreboard. 2 out. And that'll bring up Gary Geiger. Geiger struck out twice and sacrificed. Left-hand hitter, Elston Howard, is out on the mound talking with Ryan Duran. Man, that was a squeaker. Howard and Duran conclude their little confab over there on the mound. Elston comes back at the plate. 2 away. They move Norm Siebern way in left field. In the event of a single to left, they want to make sure he'll be able to throw out Jensen. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Geiger. Low ball 1. Carey playing deep at third. He'll let Geiger bunt if he wants to. Kubeck playing over towards second. Lumpy not too deep at second. And Scarron deep at first. Mantle is deep in center. A base hit there was for him. Bauer not too deep in right. 2 away. Duran stretches. The pitch is fouled back against the screen. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike on Gary Geiger. Left-hand hitting left fielder for the Red Sox. Jensen down at second. 2 outs, score tied 4-4, bottom of the 9th. The pitch is fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Sammy White. Duran bends down, checks the sign from Elston Howard. The stretch. And the pitch is hit in the air to straightaway center field. Mickey Mantle, plenty of room, is under it. And makes the catch. And we go into extra innings for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors. 1 man left. The score at the end of 9 full innings. The Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 4. Let's see who the Yankees will be sending up. Elston Howard, Bill Scarron, and Andy Carey to face Leo Kiley. Kiley did a magnificent job of relief pitching in the 9th inning. After Slaughter had pinch hit for Richardson and homered, Boyer had lined to first, Bauer had singled to center. Kiley came on, struck out Norm Siebern and Mickey Mantle to end the inning. 4-4 here in the top of the 10th. Elston Howard has popped to the catcher, hit into a fourth play, bounced to third, and singled when his double play grounder took a bad hop over Pete Runnels' head in the 8th inning. The lights went on, and now they're off. And now the plate umpire, Frank Tabacci, has stepped from in back of home plate and wants to know why the lights aren't on. The lights had been put on, and then they went off. And now they're going to play with the lights off, I guess. It's getting a little overcast and a little dark. And now Howard calls time, and Casey Stengel is coming out just as Kiley was ready to deliver the first pitch and wants to know why the lights aren't on. I wish we had a microphone down there now to hear Casey explain this. Casey is tapping the pot. There go the lights. All Casey had to do was walk out there, and the lights came on. You talk about power, that man Stengel's got it. All Casey has to do is gesture with that left hand of his. And the lights came on. So it looks like the sun's shining again here in Fenway Park. And now Kiley's ready to pitch to Elston Howard. No count on Ellie. The first pitch is low outside, ball one. Kiley's next pitch is just outside, ball two. That's right where he had pitched Mantle. Mickey was going for that ball. It's about 2 or 3 inches outside of the plate. 2 balls, no strikes on Elston Howard. Fastball is on the outside corner, strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kiley's next pitch is pop foul out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Two balls, 2 strikes on Elston Howard. The 2-2 delivery. Ground ball through the middle. Button makes a beautiful play, throws to first, and Garnett comes up with a sensational play on both ends by Don Budden and Dick Garnett to take a base hit away from Elston Howard. A beautiful play, and that should redeem Budden in the hearts of these Red Sox fans. They were getting on him a little bit today. Oh, man, there was a sure base hit. Out to center field. Budden came from nowhere, gloved it, threw it off balance into the dirt. Dick Garnett blocked it with his body and his glove, held onto the ball, and the combination of Budden and Garnett retire Elston Howard on as fine a fielding play as you'd want to see. One away. Bill Skowron, who's 0 for 4 today, fly to center, fly to left, struck out, popped to short. Kiley sends a pitch in there, strike one, a curveball. Beautiful play. Red Sox have played sparkling defensive ball. They had 1 lapse in the 5th inning. There's a low. Oh, man, there was a base hit that, if that would have hit Kiley in the head, it would have killed him. Fortunately for him, he fell flat on his back as Skowron almost tore Kiley's head off his shoulders. A line drive through the middle. Now, they better go out there and call time and slap a little color in Kiley's face, I'll tell you that. Ooh, what a shot that was Skowron hit. That's the first hit off Kiley. Sammy White is out there on the mound now talking to Leo. I want to tell you, that scares me. Ooh. But we'll always remember that sickening sound of... Now the pitch. Low ball 2-0. Balls, no strikes on Sammy White. Duran's next pitch. High ball 3. Whoa, wait a minute. Strike 1. Whoa. 2 balls and 1 strike. Frank Tabacci took a little extra time calling that pitch, and that's what threw us off. 2 balls, 1 strike on Sammy White. Pitch. Low ball 3. 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. Sammy White trying to get on base. Here's the 3-1 pitch. He takes it right down the middle. Strike 2. 3-2 the count. Full count on Sammy White leading off here in the bottom of the 10th. This ball game all tied up 4-4. Duran ready. Here's the payoff pitch. A fly ball to right field. Hank Bauer with plenty of room is back there. Under it, makes the catch, and it's one away. One out, and Leo Kiley is due to be the next batter. We're waiting to see if he'll come out, and here comes Kiley out of the Red Sox bullpen. With one out here in the bottom of the 10th and nobody on. Kiley bats left-handed, just the way he throws them. Steven moves way in left field, Carey in at third. First pitch is low inside, ball one. Game is now 3 hours and 8 minutes old. Yesterday's game went 3 hours and 15 minutes. The 1-0 pitch. Strike one called. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is high outside, ball two. 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swings and misses, strike two. 2-2. Balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 4 in the bottom of the 10th. Pitch, strike 3, swings and misses. Two away, and here is Don Button, who has been alternately cheered and booed today. He has been cheered for his defensive play at times. He made an error that cost the Red Sox a run. He was also picked off second base that cost the Red Sox a run. But he has played very well out in the field. He's driven in a run with a double. Right-hand batter. 2 out here in the bottom of the 10th. Duran ready. Pitch is in there, strike one call. Well, thank you very much, Caddy. My caddy just brought me a glass of water. Curve is swung at, missed, strike two. Two strikes on Don Button. Didn't mention who my caddy was, did I, Pappy? Don't? Okay. I will mention it there. 2 strikes. The pitch is pop fouled back out of play. Almost caught in the press box here by Jack Murphy. Nothing in 2 on Don Button. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 10th. What a ball game. Tied up at 4-4. The pitch is hit back to the box on one hop. Duran to Scar in 4 out, number 3. So for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 10th, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, nobody left. Score at the end of 10. The Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 4.
The anniversary of the ride of Paul Revere, isn't that the reason?
Tomorrow?
The Patriots date, and actually today is the day, but they're celebrating tomorrow.
Oh.
Thank you.
I know what Paul Revere said on that ride. What did he say at the end of the ride?
I remember. Oh boy, I'm tired. Huh? As I recall, the first lines on the 19th of April in 75, hardly a man who is now alive who remembers that day, famous day in the year, the Midnight Rider falls.
Very good, Joe. All you kids listening, if the teacher asks you tomorrow.
Your caddy just got that foul ball, by the way.
No kidding?
Yeah.
You mean Jack Murphy? Oops. I didn't mean to mention that. He did get it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready to go in the top of the 11th. Tony Kubeck will lead off for the Yankees. Kubeck is 1 for 4, double back in the 5th inning. Leo Kiley is out on the mound. Pitch is in there, strike one. One strike on Tony Kubeck. Kiley ready. The pitch is bunted out and missed, strike two. They also have that big marathon race up here tomorrow, don't they, Joe?
Yes, that'll start in the morning and should be finished before we go on the air, Phil. So
we'll have the result.
We should have, yeah. People from all over the world competing in that, you know.
Sure, they're from Japan and England. Here's the two-strike pitch, just outside ball one.
Matter of fact, all around Boston today and yesterday, you know, you turn a corner and you find one or a pair of fellas practicing. Yes.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Tony Kubeck. The pitch is hit on the ground. Garnett backs up with it. Flips underhand to Kiley, covering in time to get Kubeck one away. One away, and the batter will be Jerry Lumpy, up for his first time. Lumpy took over for Richardson after Slaughter pinch hit and hit a homer to tie the game in the 9th. Joe, they run that race right on the streets, don't they? I mean,
it's around the metropolitan Boston. I haven't seen a route, you know, a picture of the route yet, but I don't know the town that well, Phil. But it's very exciting.
Jerry Lumpy bats him left-hander. The first pitch by Kiley is inside ball one. One out, no one on. Kiley's pitch is lined in a short right field. That's in there for a base hit. Jerry Lumpy singles to right. Hit number 2 off Kiley. Hit number 10 for the Yankees. There's the tie-breaking run at first. And Ryan Duran is due to be the next batter. Let's see if he'll be coming out. He does. Ryan Duran is coming out to bat for himself. And everyone in the ballpark knows that Duran will be attempting the sacrifice. Duran is not what you'd call a good hitting pitcher. And he will be trying to move Lumpy down to second base. There's one out here in the top of the 11th inning. And the score is tied 4-4. Malzone is way in at third. Garnett has to hold the bag against Lumpy and then charge in with the pitch. Duran's choking way up on that bat. He's got it around the trademark. He takes it high, ball one. He has moved up on the plate so as to get a good view of the ball. Here's the stretch. The pitch, he squares around, takes it inside, ball 2, 2-0. And Kiley, in his anxiety to run in after he pitches the ball, is losing the plate. And Sammy White tells him, don't lose this guy. He's just about an automatic out. Well, I almost guarantee that Duran will be taking this pitch. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Lumpy at first. The pitch is taken, strike 1. Is that last year's record, Joe? 1 for 13 Duran had last year. He batted .077, and I remember that hit. He beat out a bunt. With 2 strikes on him, he beat out a bunt. It was the only hit of last year. We're not ridiculing Duran's batting prowess, but just the fact that he's not a good hitter. Duran swings and misses, and there's that play that Casey Stengel has been pulling with a lot of success. He has the pitcher faking a bunt and then swinging, but Duran missed that sinker. 2-2 the count. Now let's see if he'll be bunting with 2 strikes on him. The threat of the sacrifice is not over. Casey makes his pitchers bunt with 2 strikes many times. Duran is really choking up, as the ball players say. They've got Mr. Hillard by the throat, right up at the trademark. He squares around, bunts, a good bunt. I'm telling you that Duran can bunt better with 2 strikes on him than with no strikes or 1 strike. He lays down a perfect bunt to sacrifice Lumpy to second base. Oh, boy, I tell you. You can't figure this game of baseball. Perfect sacrifice from the pitcher to the first baseman. Lumpy, the tie-breaking run is at second, and here's Hank Bauer. Hank is 1 for 3. Pops to the catcher, bounced to short, hit a sacrifice fly to drive in a run, walked and singled. And they're walking Bauer intentionally to pitch to Norm Seaborn. Hank Bauer is given an intentional pass. The first walk by Kiley. Of course, Hank is always dangerous in this park. This is the second game in a row that Bauer has been at bat 6 times. So not officially, because he has 2 walks and a sacrifice. But he's been up to the plate 6 times. There's ball 4. Bauer gets an intentional pass. So the Yankees have runners at first and second. With 2 out here in the top of the 11th, the score tied 4-4, and the batter Norm Seaborn. Seaborn homered in the first inning, high in the screen, the opposite field, in left field. Since then, he has not gotten on base. He bounced to first base, slid to right, again bounced to first, and struck out. Two out. Infield playing deep, outfield deep, and around towards right. Bauer leads off first, Lumpy off second. Here's the stretch. The pitch is foul tip back, strike 1. See, the Red Sox have Pete Runnels, Gene Stevens, and Jackie Jensen to face Duran next inning. 1 strike on Norm Seaborn. 2 out, 2 on. The stretch by Kiley. The pitch is hit foul down the right field line. Strike 2. 0-2 on Seaborn. Kiley is crowding Seaborn with his fastball. Kiley goes to the rosin bag. Cassetti yelling down to Lumpy at second. Out coaching at first, talking with Bauer. 2 strikes on Norm Seaborn. 2 out. 4-4 to score on the top of the 11th. Here's the stretch. The pitch is low inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mickey Mantle is on deck. Wind is blowing out towards left field now, from right field to left field. Kiley sets. The pitch is strike 3 called. A beautiful curveball by Leo Kiley. Catches Seaborn looking. That's strikeout number 3 for Kiley. And for the Yankees in the top of the 11th. No runs, 1 hit, no Red Sox errors, 2 men left. Score at the end of 10 and a half innings of play. The Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 4. In the bottom of the 11th with the score tied 4-4. The meat of the Red Sox batting order is coming up. Pete Runnels, Gene Stevens, and Jackie Jensen, if someone should get on Frank Malzone. The Yankee outfield now loosening up, throwing the baseball around. It's a close play. They've got to get that runner. They haven't been doing it too much this spring. Yankees have Seaborn in left, Mantle in center, Bauer in right. Carey at third, Kubeck at short, Lumpy at second, Skowron at first, Howard catching, and Duran pitching. Duran completes his warm-up tosses. Pete Reynolds steps in the batter's box. Frank Sebastian dusts off home plate. And we're ready to go. Reynolds has walked twice, hit to the box, and bounced to second. Very few, if any, of the fans have left the ballpark. Even though it's almost dinner time, fans are sticking right along with it. Here's Duran's first pitch to Reynolds. It's low inside, ball one. Duran's next pitch is swung at, missed, strike one. 1-1 the count. One ball, one strike. Fastball is low. Ball two, 2-1. Duran, a slow work around on the mound. Ready? The fastball is high, ball three. 3-1. The count on Pete Reynolds. Duran's next pitch is ball four. And Reynolds leading off here in the bottom of the 11th. Walks. The second walk given up by Duran. And that's the winning run down at first base. Here's Gene Stevens now, who bounced to second, homered with a man on. Fly to center and struck out. Carey's looking for the sacrifice. He's in at third. Skowron is holding Reynolds close at first, ready to charge in with the pitch. On deck, Jackie Jensen. Carey's creeping in. Stevens swings and misses, strike one. He was not bunting that time. And he had a riffle at that pitch. Might be the decoy, though. Might have been so that Stevens wants the infield to think he's swinging away and lay one down. Reynolds leads off first. Here's the stretch. Stevens bunts this time, bunts it foul and back against the screen. Strike two. Nothing in two on Gene Stevens. Strikes to count. Duran stretches. The pitch is hit in the left field. Stevens coming on. He made the catch. A beautiful play by Norm Sebring. And Reynolds gets back to first base. A sinking line drive that Sebring caught sitting down on the grass in short left center field. He almost trapped that ball, but got his glove right on the turf. A fine play by Sebring, a fine play by first base umpire, rather second base umpire Ed Hurley, who ran out there, making sure that he didn't trap the ball. One away. Jackie Jensen, the batter. Jackie single, top to third, grounded to first and walked. Reynolds at first. The stretch. Pitch is hit on the ground. Duran throws back to second for one. Bumpy throw, in-tag, double play. From 1 to 4 to 3, pitcher to second base to first base for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 11th. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, nobody left. And the score at the end of 11 full innings. Let's see, the Yankees have 4 runs on 10 hits. No errors. 11 men left on base. All right, Joe? You have 10? That'll give us time to check it. I have 10, too. I counted wrong. 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. And for the Red Sox, 4 runs on 5 hits. They have 2 errors. And 1, 2, only 3 men left on base? That's right. So while we've got time, let's pause for station identification. Mickey, single to center, single to right, walked, reached on an error, and struck out. Mantle, Howard, and Scarron have faced Leo Kiley. Ike DeLock started the game for the Red Sox, won 8 1/3 innings. Kiley's first pitch to Mickey is hit on the ground at second base slowly. Reynolds in, one hand throws to first. In trying to get Mantle, a beautiful play by Pete Reynolds. Mantle and House kind of a little doubtful whether he was out. It was a chopped ground ball over the pitcher's box. Reynolds had to come in, gloved with one hand, threw off balance, just did nip Mantle. Nice play by Pete Reynolds, one away. The batter, Elston Howard. Elston popped to the catcher, hit into a fourth play, bounced to third, single to center, bounced to short. The pitch to Howard is low, ball 1. Been just 2 double plays in this ball game. Joe Ripley and I checking the scorecard. Pitch to Howard is top foul out of play. Strike 1, 1-1. One on Elston Howard. The pitch is fouled on the right field line, going out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, no one on. Top of the 12th inning. Score tied 4-4. Here's the pitch to Howard. Up, foul outside of first. Garnett is racing back and can't catch up to it. It's a foul ball, though. One ball, 2 strikes. Kiley goes to the rosin bag. Looks like Murray Wall is up again in the Red Sox bullpen. Kiley's next pitch is just outside, ball 2, 2-2. That's who it is, Murray Wall. Here's the 2-2 delivery. A ground ball that Kiley comes up with, how I don't know, and throws to first in time for the out. Oh boy, what a play he made. There was a hot shot back, not hit quite as hard as Scarron's, that almost took Kiley's head off back in the 10th inning, but a line drive, one hopper. Kiley just stuck his glove down and came up with it on one short hop. Fired to first for the out, 2 away. Brings up Bill Skowron. Moose is 1 for 5. He singled in the 10th inning. Kiley's first pitch is lined into center field. Another solid base hit for the Moose. It was Skowron who low-bridged Kiley in the 10th inning. And Skowron again who lines the single to center. And here's Andy Carey. Carey is 1 for 5. He singled back in the 6th inning. He 11 hits for the Yankees in the ball game. Stretched by Kiley. The pitch to Carey is low inside, ball 1 as he tried to curve him. Kiley has been throwing mostly fastballs that break away and down from the right-hand batter. And Sammy White, who has been disagreeing with plate umpire Frank Tabacci all afternoon, has just disagreed on another call. But you can't win when you argue with the umpire unless it's an infraction of the rule. Carey steps out of the box. That discussion irritates him a little bit. He wants... Stretched by Kiley. The pitch to Carey is outside, ball 2, 2-0. Skowron is at first. He represents the tie-breaking run in this ball game. We're in the top of the 12th. 4-4 the score. 2-0 on Andy Carey. The stretch. The pitch is hit foul. Yankee bat boy up with it. 2 balls, 1 strike. On deck, Tony Kubeck. Kiley checks the sign from Sammy White. Skowron leading off first. The stretch. The pitch is lined in a left field, a base hit for Carey. And holding at second is Skowron, holding at first is Carey. Now that's hit number 4 off Leo Kiley. And Skowron has 2, Carey has 1. Lumpy had the other one. And that'll bring up Tony Kubeck. Kubeck has 1 double in 5 times at bat. He got that in the 5th inning. Skowron at second, Carey at first. The pitch is a curve inside, ball 1. The Yankees had 18 hits yesterday and 16 runs. Today they have 12 hits but 4 runs. Plus the wind was blowing out yesterday. A lot of long balls went up on the screen for homers. The stretch by Kiley. The pitch to Kubeck is hit on the ground slowly to short. Button up with it. Over to Garnett, just in time to get Kubeck by a step. That's all for the Yankees, Fred, here in the top of the 12th. No runs, 2 hits, no Red Sox. There is 2 men left. Score at the end of 11 and a half innings of play. Still tied up, the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 4. The bottom of the 12th inning. The Yankees and the Red Sox. Ryan Duran is pitching his 4th inning. Johnny Cook started, pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 hits and 3 runs. Tom Sturdivant came on, pitched 4 innings, gave up 1 hit and 1 run. Ryan Duran is now in his 4th inning. Duran has not allowed a base hit or a run as yet. Frank Malzone is leading off. In the bottom of the 12th, Malzone has bounced to short, bounced to third, walked, and sacrificed. He's 0 for 2. first pitch to Malzone is low, ball one. One ball on Frank Malzone. My voice is giving out. The 1-0 pitch is hit in a line deep to left field, way, way back. And up on the screen for a home run, and the ball game is over. Frank Malzone gets his first home run of the year, his first RBI of the year. And the Red Sox win a tremendously thrilling ball game here at Fenway Park, 5-4. Many, many thrills here today. A tough break for the Yankees and Ryan Duran, and a great win for the Red Sox and Leo Carley. A 12th inning home run that just did get up on the screen in left center field by Frank Malzone, and it was Frank's first homer and first RBI of the year. Well, sir, we sure hope you enjoyed that game because we did. Now I'm going to help myself to something I know you'll enjoy, the crisp refresher Ballantine beer. It's the crisp kind of light with true lager flavor. That's Ballantine. No wonder it's the largest selling beer in the East. Joe Ripley is getting the totals ready. And while he does, I just want to remind you that we'll have another game in the 13th straight year of baseball in Ballantine when the Yankees meet the Red Sox tomorrow, right here at Fenway Park, on Patriots Day, airtime 1:55 p.m., game time 2 p.m. Here are the totals. For the Red Sox, 5 runs on just 6 hits. 2 errors, 3 men left. For the Yankees, 4 runs on 12 hits, no errors, and 12 men left. The winning pitcher is Leo Carley, who has now won 1 and lost none. The loser is Ryan Duran, who has won none and lost 1. The official attendance for today was 20,707. Which is the biggest crowd of the year here at Fenway Park so far. It was a very exciting ball game. In the first inning, Norm Sebring homered in the left field screen for the Yankees' first run. In the 5th inning, the Yankees got 1 more when Kubeck doubled and Budden booted the ball. And then on a pass ball by Sammy White, the runners advanced and Bauer hit a sacrifice fly to left. They scored 1 more in the 6th. And their final run in the 9th inning when Enos Country Slaughter, that amazing man from North Carolina, came up and pinch hit a home run to tie up the ball game. All the scoring for the Yankees. The Red Sox scored 3 in the 3rd inning, featured by a 2-run homer by Gene Stevens, 1 in the 7th, and the final run in the 12th inning by Frank Malzone, a home run leading off the bottom of the 12th. We had some fine pitching by Johnny Cooks, Tom Sturdivant, and Ryan Duran for the Yankees, and Ike DeLocke, who went 8 in the 3rd inning for the Red Sox, and Leo Carley, who finished up. So this is Phil Rizzuto saying so long for Mel Allen, Joe Ripley, Pappy Durkin, and for Ballantine Beer, the crisp refresher. And of
Atlantic keeps your car on the go. For business or pleasure in any kind of weather, Atlantic keeps your car on the go.
When you want to go places and do things, what a pleasure your driving can be.
For quality products and top service, your Atlantic dealer is the man to see. Atlantic keeps your car on the go, 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 go. Keep on the go with Atlantic.
This is WOKO, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 5:45. It's Baseball Roundup. And speaking of baseball, you'll score a home run when you visit Troy Buick. Both Troy Buick branches backed by 50 years of reliability and dependability. Both Troy Buick branches give easier GMAC terms, higher trade. For that safe used car, it's Troy Buick's used car branch, 107th Street, corner of 2nd Avenue, Troy. For that 59 Buick, it's Troy Buick at 2781 6th Avenue, Troy. Well, it was a long one and a profitable one for the Red Sox this afternoon. Frank Malzone came up against Ryan Duran in the 12th inning, as you heard, Or perhaps you're just tuning in and swatted a home run into the left field seats, that ever-inviting left field section of Fenway Park, to give the Boston Red Sox another win over the New York Yankees. We'll look at the totals for the game as well as scores of the rest of the leagues in just a moment. There's something special about owning a 59 Buick, and that's why Troy Buick at 2781 6th Avenue in Troy is proud to invite you to see, inspect, test drive the car for 59 Buick. The Sabre, Invicta, Electra. There's a 59 Buick within your budget, within your reach. A 59 Buick that you'll love to own. And here's a big chance to own a 59 Buick absolutely free. Visit Troy Buick, test drive the Buick of your choice, and then pick up your official entry blank for Buick's bonus mileage bonanza. You may win a Buick Sabre, a Buick Electra, a trip to Hollywood, over 1,000 other prizes. And while you're browsing around Troy Buick's quarter-block-long showroom, inspect the Opel, Europe's most distinguished economy car, known throughout Europe as the king of dependability. Get higher trade on your present car, easier GMAC terms, reliability and dependability, 50 years of automobile experience. Get them all at Troy Buick, 2781 6th Avenue, Troy. Open daily till 9, Saturday till 5 p.m. Remember, drive to arrive alive. All right, for Boston to win it, 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the New York Yankees. 4 runs, they doubled the output of the Red Sox. 12 hits, they played errorless ball. Leo Kiley in relief of Ike DeLock, the winner. Ryan Duran accepted the loss. For New York, home runs by Norm Sebring and Enos Slaughter, the old man of baseball, pinch hitting in the 9th to tie the score. Gene Stevens in the 3rd, and Frank Malzone, the clincher, in the 12th inning. Elsewhere in the American League, in the first game of a doubleheader, Baltimore 12, or rather 7-12-1, Washington 5-11-0. Ernie Johnson, the winner, in relief. Camilo Pascual lost it. Reno Batoya for Washington, a home run in the first with the bases empty, his 3rd. Cleveland finally had its winning streak stopped by Kansas City, who came up with 4 runs against Herbie Score in the 9th inning. Score had them shut out till then. They won it on 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors to Cleveland's 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Herbie Score, the loser. Ray Herbert went all the way to win it. Bill Tuttle of Kansas City, a home run in the 9th with the bases empty. That started the rally. Woody Howells came back and hit one for Cleveland in the bottom of the 9th. It was not enough. Bases empty, his 5th. Turning now to the National League, Cincinnati blasted Philadelphia 12-12-0 to 5-6-0. Maybe won it, and Jim Owens lost to Frank Robinson, a home run for Cincinnati in the 7th with one on his 3rd. We have a 3-inning score from the West Coast. At the end of that time, San Francisco leads St. Louis 2-0. Johnny Antonelli in quest of his 3rd straight win. Larry Jackson on the hill for St. Louis. 2 postponements. In the American League, the Detroit-Chicago game postponed because of rain and cold weather, and likewise Pittsburgh at Milwaukee. That's it in baseball. Baseball Roundup was presented by Troy Buick. Remember, there's no walking home when you drive a national bonded warranty used car from Troy Buick Used Car Branch, 107th Street, corner of 2nd Avenue in Troy, or a 59 Buick from Troy Buick at 2781 6th Avenue, Troy. You're guaranteed reliability and dependability. Visit Troy Buick. Both branches open daily till 9, Saturday till 5 p.m.